Hello, everybody. Welcome to Heart of a Hobbit here on the Lotro Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Lotro stream, in case you're watching this elsewhere and want to catch this live someday. So I'm your host, Little Redhead, and I will be taking you through some fun adventures here on Lord of the Rings Online. So I was just looking at the cat. She's like finally settled down. She's been following me back and forth all all over the room, and I'm like, cat, I am not going to be settled down here anytime soon, so just like hang out. So she finally laid down, and now she's being really super cute. So it is a warm day here today. It is like 28 degrees outside, and I think it's a little cooler than that inside, but I'm starting to feel it. So yeah, and I forgot to put a fan on me. I have to remember to do that in the future when it's warm like this. So what are we doing today? So today is actually the last day of the legendary item reward track. So if you do Shift I, that's the default. If you've changed it, it'll be something else, but that's the default if you haven't changed it. That brings up the legendary item reward track. So if you have any characters who have their legendary items as you're going about in the world doing quests and whatnot, any experience they earn that's legendary item experience will be applied to this reward track. So right now, the reward track, they do it, Lotro does it like every 3 months. They let it run, a season run for like 3 months, and then that one is over, and then they'll start, and they'll have a whole new track. And so you start all over at the beginning, but then you have access to new stuff. So for example, with this reward track, it ends in 22 hours and 27 minutes. So that's why I was like, today is your last day, because you have less than 24 hours. So like today, tomorrow, basically, but there'll be downtime probably when the servers are being reset tomorrow. So you want to make sure that you probably want to get in there sooner than later, basically, is what I'm trying to say. As you earn experience, it will fill up the bar, and then the little box will be full, and it'll say, claim, and then once you've claimed it, it'll say claimed. So like, for example, my bar here is what I'm working on. Oh, that's interesting. You could pay Mithro coins. I wonder how much. I don't want to click it because I don't want it to do it, but usually they ask. I'm really curious. I might do that like on the new track or something, just in case. Anyway, so as you're working your way through the track, there'll be all these different boxes. One of the things they've been doing is the first, so like it'll kind of do a repeat. I know, right? I'm like, maybe we'll try it. Well, because I don't want the thing though. I'll wait until we get the new one. I'll do it next week. Anyway, so what I was going to say is that it gives you the first, like it'll do a repeat of basically 5 things in a row, and it'll be just those 5 things over and over again with a few little other things thrown in. So I'll show you here in a second. But hey, I see a cool witch in the chat says hello, everyone. Hello. And Pomela also says hello. So hello, everybody. Welcome. Good to see you here. So basically, yeah, the way this is going to work, so like the first box was a coffer of ancient script. And then the next one are some enhancement runes. And then the third one was a tracery. The fourth one is enhancement runes. And then the fifth one is more ancient script. And then it repeats again. So ancient script, enhancement rune, tracery, enhancement rune, script. And then it keeps repeating that pattern over and over again, except every once in a while they'll throw in like a chest of embers and figments, or tracery token. Those are nice. And then on 25, 50, 75, and 100, they throw in some extra stuff. Ich equals in? Or are you saying that you are here? Hello, Telerian. Good to see you. So at 25, there was the Coffer of the Curious Slug, which I did get. I can show you. So I have now 3 slugs, because apparently that's what makes me happy. So this is the Curious Slug, this is the Lively Slug, this is the Cape Slug. So okay, we'll pull out the Curious Slug. You guys can see it as I wander around. Let's see, where is he? There he is. He's called Speedy, the Curious Slug. I'll leave him out for a while and we can play with him. And then, okay, so then that was 25. And then 50 was the there we go, coffer of the Nautical Housing Collection. So that one was very cool. I was very much interested in that, so I'm very happy that I managed to get that on this server and also on Laurelin. That was my goal. And then I did end up getting to 75 with huge thanks to B4 over there. So I also have the Vivid Green Snake, and I did put it on this character also. And I did not make it to 100, but that's okay. 100 would have got me the coffer of the Daggerlad portrait frame. So I didn't quite make it to that this time, but that's okay. But hey, I got this funky little slug. Hello, slug. There you go. You can see our little slug. So, I think I'm going to switch to the hamster. Thanks. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to grab these crates while we're sitting here and chatting. That gives me some premium ingredients. The universal ingredients. That's what I'm trying to say. The things that you can use in place of actual ingredients, and it's super handy. Let's see, how is my Wenda? She runs out in 3 days. I'm going to go ahead and talk to Wenda.
Could I speak with you a moment?
And talk to her again.
How can I be of service?
And we'll go ahead and get this topped up, and we'll swap this out for a new one. And so I will ditch my old one. Yeah, I do. Funny edge case is if you have opened something using your subscriber town services, like say I've opened, I don't know, my shared storage or whatever, and then I destroy the bauble, and then I think if I click on one of these things, this is a while ago, it would be like, that doesn't exist anymore or something like that. It was really funny. Oh, too far away. That's what it turns out to be. So you just have to then go and open the one that you just got. Hopefully you just got one. You didn't destroy the one you just got. Yeah, so it's kind of funny. It's a little edge case there. Anyway. Oh, Tillerian says I was mistyping in my last message. Well, I don't know. You just sounded very German to me there. So. Yes, Pomela says, I feel, I like the size of the hamsters for hobbits. They feel like a good ratio. They are small little creatures, the hamsters. I mean, hobbits too, I suppose, really. But, all right, so what I was thinking we would do today is another week in the past, may have been last week. Days just like are blending together. We went and followed Bingo Boffin around, and we are working on the adventures of Bingo Boffin. So let me pull up my quest log. The ballad of Bingo Boffin, and we have followed him all over Middle Earth. It seems like all over Eriador for sure, because he left the Shire, went back and forth across the Shire a few times, and then left the Shire, wandered his way out to Breeland, and then we went through like the Lone Lands with him, I think, and then definitely we were in the Trollshaws, went to Rivendell, ended up in the Misty Mountains. He got lost in there. We went down and found him in Moria. Yeah, right. And then we've been wandering off since then. So chasing down some people that are maybe doing some bad things in Middle-earth. But now we've kind of accomplished everything. He's accomplished everything he wanted to accomplish. And so he is ready to start wandering his way home. Yes, we went through a bit of Ravanian. That is true. I got a little distracted for a second because the homestead over there, the building in the background, it's got like a fire coming out of it. And it's right over, it's kind of blending with the, let's see if I can show you without changing it too much. It's blending a little bit with that windmill in the background. And then the shadow on the windmill kept changing. And so I thought the windmill was on fire. I felt like the windmill door is on fire. It has like this kind of, if I scoot in too much, yeah, it had one of those optical illusions, and that's kind of fun. Hey, but speaking of what's going on over by that windmill, you see it, how it's got like a fire and then the shadow keeps changing? So I thought it was on fire. Yes, that's what I was going to go say. So this is why we might go out to the Entwood today, because there's some quests out there that you do, and when you finish the quest, you get a box, and in the box is probably some of the tokens that they want to give you, but occasionally you get something else in the box. Boy, I got too close. I don't think you can see that. Let me get on the fence with you. And look at what Affodil got. Affodil got a big tree. This is a Fangorn horn. A horn from Fangorn. Very descriptive. So it's one of those that like walks and has a big funky face, and so that's fun stuff. Yeah, so we got one of those now finally in the neighborhood, so that is a lot of fun. Hey, Talarian asks, what's the plan for today before? Translations needed for today, question mark. Before says, I'm going to keep working on Titan Bar today. When's the next festival beginning? That is an excellent question. So when I need to answer that question, the way I answer that is I go to one of my many, many open tabs, because I always have lots of open tabs. I've gotten better, but you know, I still end up with a lot of them. So anyway, I just put in my favorite search browser, Lotro schedule, and it's like, oh, this thing that you've searched for 100 times, that. It brings up the 2024 public events schedule, which is a super handy thing that Cord has been fantastic about keeping up to date over the last year or two. Oh, Before and I had the same good idea at the same time. Yeah, so Talarian says Midsummer should be next, suppose around the 6th or the 10th of June, and Before has confirmed that, yeah, the 6th through the 26th of June is when we have our Midsummer Festival. But yes, good point that we might have Hobnanigans next, Pamela. Let's see, what we got here? What is today? Today is the 14th. The new legendary item reward track begins tomorrow, just as a reminder, y'all. Oh, Treebeard Cap is going up at the end of the month on the 29th. Yes, but then we have Hobnanigans on the 30th. So Treebeard goes up on Wednesday the 29th, and Thursday the 30th, Hobnanigans. We get a Hobnanigans weekend that lasts through June 3rd. 1, 2, 3, until Monday morning. Well, so really the 2nd, which is a Sunday. I should know that. Well, anyway. Then Midsummer Festival starts the following week on the 6th of June. I just realized my calendar doesn't have that little blurb, you know, where it's got like the previous month and the following month, like usually in the little thing, but nope, it doesn't. But it's got cool art because it's a Lord of the Rings calendar, so that's nice. Anyway, the Midsummer Festival, yes, starts on June 6th, goes through June 26th at 3 a.m. Most things end at 3 a.m., so really, if it says it ends on June 26th at 3 a.m., really think June 22nd, because the 23rd is not going to happen, or 26th, think 25. So the Forester Crafting event is listed in the middle of that, from the 13th to the 23rd of June. Curator comes around on the 2nd of July. Another Forester event on the 15th of July. Filbert Fig around the middle of July. Another Hobnanigans at the beginning of August. Crafter event middle of August. Yeah, so that's kind of where we're at. And then Farmers Fair, middle of August. So we've got middle of June, well, beginning of June, for Midsummer, and then not until middle of July or August for the next one. So yeah. So let's see. Before points out that yes, Hobnanigans. Good point, Pamela. And Festival Buddy 2 is feature complete for Hobnanigans except for the translations. So yeah, you can use Festival Buddy 2 to help you with Hobnanigans, which is kind of fun. You know what? We are never streaming during Hobnanigans because it runs Thursday to Monday, well, Thursday to Sunday, and we stream on Tuesdays. Maybe sometime when we're like unable to stream on a Tuesday, maybe we can sneak in a Sunday Hobnanigans stream or something. I don't know. Well, because it should show off Festival Buddy. That would be fun. Mm-hmm. That would be fun.
I can show it off in debug mode.
That's fair. Before points out that he could show off Hobnanigans in debug mode and show you how it works if you ever wanted to use it for Hobnanigans. Hang on, I'm going to grab a drink of tea. My tea is very warm at the moment. And it's a very warm day, but I'm feeling like temperature even at the moment, so I think we're good. Yeah, yeah. Um, oh yeah, before was talking about, yeah, he got caught by the local 3 a.m. bug. So if you're on Lotro and 3 a.m. your local time happens, it makes things go a little wonky. Um, and as he points out, if your time zone is different from server time, which ours is, because we're not, because 3 a.m. server time is Eastern U.S. time zone, and we're in Central European time zone, so we're 60 hours ahead. So when 3 o'clock happens for us, if you're playing the game, quests that are daily will pop, the ring will pop back up, but as before points out, the quests appear to be available again, but they're really not. So, Mind Atapak says, "Oh my gosh, Rings of Power trailer is so good." Yeah, we were that's funny. We just watched it. I heard like the first half of it, and then I actually watched the second half of it because I was in the middle of doing stuff. But yeah, I agree with you, Mind Atapak. It does look good. Let's see. Talarian asks, what translations do you need? Current version seems to have empty quest strings for Hobnanigans. Seems, yeah. I'll let you two chat in the chat about what all Talarian can provide for B4 regarding translations for things. Awesome. Okay, so while that's happening in the background, we're gonna run away from this scary tree, and we're gonna head out and find Bingo Boffin. He is in the middle of a quest wherein we were sent off. Somebody says, "Oh, you must be like, you must be from this place where there's these hobbits," and in what was it, Entwood? And he's like, "No, what are you talking about?" And so we went and hunted down. Well, not hunted down, but we went and found the hobbits, of which they were speaking in Martal or Tulhau. And they were like, "Holy crap, you must be like a long lost cousin. Let's have a welcoming feast." And so they had a huge feast, and Bingo just could not help himself, and he ate too much at the welcoming feast. And he has asked us to find a healer who might have a remedy for him in the town. All right, so that will take us back to, here we can zoom out. Where are we in? No, not Dunland. We're not in Dunland. We are in Enedwaith over here. And did we set a milestone there? Were we smart enough to do that? Non-Cornier. No, that's not it. Hit bolt. Nope. Perhaps we were not smart enough to set a milestone out there. That's okay. I can take us to, what's our Enedwaith location? Stangard, Snowborn, Forlaw, Aldberg, Helm's Deep. Should be back before that. Harndirian. How about I take us to Harndirian? Let's see if that what that does for us. Okay, awesome. Coolwitch says there's a debug mode. I need to figure out how that works. Oh, before inspired me to try my hand at doing a plugin. I need a way to debug at the moment. Well, I mean, I think he'll be happy to show you how to do that on his stream. So yeah, for those of you who aren't aware, so I'll do Heart of a Hobbit, which is this stream here. We're kind of running around doing some fun things. And then after me is my sweetie B4, and he does Lotro plugins. And so he is happy to show all sorts of fun things about Lotro plugins. And he streams right after me. So Martal Who, Tal Har, yeah, that place. Off to the Hobbit. Yeah, and so we kind of take up like a 5-ish hour block between the pair of us. Sometimes I run longer, sometimes he runs longer. Usually he runs longer, which is totally fine. I usually have stuff I gotta get done, so that works out. Okay, so we're supposed to go and talk to the healer. What are you going to Gloomlands for? Oh, okay. I didn't actually talk to the healer yet. So I'm going to pause at this bridge, let her catch up, and here we go. Look at that. We have found a wonderful healer here in town for homesick and just sick.
Too
from
many
Bingo.
wanderers about.
She says, yes, how can I help you? Ah, Bingo did not understand the importance of pacing himself, did he? A welcoming feast is no small thing, and I am certain we told you time and time again. Well, I can brew a tea that should help him feel better, but my stock of tea leaves has gotten rather low. If you will cut several flushes of tea for me, I can brew some for poor Bingo. Take this knife of mine and look for likely plants outside the village. Cut only from the top of the plants, about a hand length down from the top. 3 flushes of tea should be enough, and the more fresh, the better. All right, so she hands you a small knife, and you marvel at its sharp edge. Well, we'll be very careful. So we're going to head back out of town and go out to the Gloom Glens, which are nearby. And we're going to go try and find some leaves for a nice calming tea. I'm familiar with this idea. I myself sometimes have upset tummy. It's like kind of a lifelong thing for me, unfortunately. And so I am quite familiar with mint tea and ginger tea. I do it often. Yeah. Hey, Lost-Shire Hobbit has arrived. Welcome, welcome. Kind of here at your dad's for the week, doing the washing up, so checking in for a few. Nice. Well, glad that you're here. Yep, you're welcome to listen in. Let's see, I'm cutting some flushes of tea from plants in the Gloom Glens. A pungent smell fills the air as you cut the top of the plant. Oh, okay. She is happy. It says, bring the tea flushes to Lily Garter in Mar Talho. Okay, so back to town. Let's see, which way is it? I forget. Oh, we'll just go over the top. So, what were we talking about? Is this the front? No. Maybe this is the way in. Yeah. Their home is kind of like very tucked in here into the landscape, and so it weaves around back and forth. So sometimes the shortest way to somebody is not a straight line, as it turns out. Oh, nice. I paused so you could catch up so I wouldn't knock you off the bridge.
What's this
That's
all
fair.
about?
She says, okay, you found some. I will use these to replace the tea I brewed while you're out. It has cooled some, but it should still serve the purpose. Take this to Bingo and have him drain it dry. He should start feeling better in only a little while. All right. She gives us a warm cup of medicinal tea for Bingo. Hey, Bingo. So he's been down here having a lovely feast. I mean, come on, look at all that awesome food. We had a bunch of people over this weekend and had a barbecue, and then we watched Eurovision. Anyway, so oh my goodness, you're right in the middle of the table. So our table looked a little bit like that as well. And then we had a little bit of leftover food, but now we just have like leftover bread, and that is not, well, and pinda sauce, peanut sauce.
should not have eaten
like,
so much.
It's not a dinner at this point. So there we are. But I do love tea. He says, oh, I am glad you came back. I should not have eaten so much. I feel terrible, but worse, I've been a poor dinner companion for Iola and Haley and Theodore. Oh, I'm quite filled to burst. He says, can you handle the social pleasantries for now? I will sip the tea you brought, and I hope it will help. Well, sure. Hey, Theodore, how's it going?
The folk of this
He
village
says,
have
the
been
folk
very
of this village have been
kind."
very kind, but their welcoming feast has not been very kind to Bingo. Haley told me I needn't sample every dish that was put in front of me, and that advice has served me well. Can you imagine what might have happened if I had not gotten rid of the Rothstone? Some cruel food-related mishap, I'm sure of it. Or perhaps you just listen to the voice of reason and not bad luck. I don't know. You know, potato, potato, right? Haley says the food was very good, but I am no hobbit. I stopped eating days ago, and Bingo should have done the same. I think encountering that dragon might have knocked some sense into Theodore, because he actually seems to be listening to me now. He is fortunate, because otherwise he would surely be feeling as poorly as Bingo right now. Hello, Iola. How is it going?
They say some of our
She
kin
says
went
the
north
welcoming feast
long
is one of our
ago.
oldest traditions, but this is the first we have had in many years. It has always served to bring my people closer together, and I am glad to share it with you and Bingo. All right, Bingo, we have done some socializing on your behalf. What say you?
I have finished the tea.
He says, I have finished
But
the
it
tea,
didn't
but it
help.
didn't seem to help. Can you go back and see if there's anything else that might help? I know I should not have eaten so much, but it all looked so good. Maybe you should just go lay down and like put your feet in the water. That usually makes me feel better too. Oh well, we'll go see what she has to say. Maybe lay down on your back. Stare up at the sky for a little while, get some fresh air. I guess he already has fresh air, he's outside. Well, she says the tea did not make him feel better. She thinks for a moment, and then her eyes alight, and she stabs the air with a triumphant finger. I think the tea was too cold. I have a fresh pot of tea brewing on the milestone fire just there. If you bring it to him and have him drink it before it cools, I think he will find it the truest remedy for his ailment. But you must be quick. The tea will cool rapidly, so you need to carry it swiftly to him. This sounds like a timed quest. All right, shall we hot mint tea it up? And... all right, I have some hot tea. All right, Bingo. Sorry, excuse me, store person. He takes the hot tea and sips it carefully.
That is
He
a
says,
little better.
that is a little better. Yes, I think this tea is helping. I do not regret enjoying all those courses, but I think I'm glad to see the end of the welcoming feast. It does put me in mind of my home. I remember quiet evenings at my dinner table, settling into a modest dinner by candlelight. They were lonely meals, it's true, and I would not trade my new friends for anything, but it is comforting to think of the Shire. I wonder how the old place is managing. It feels as if we just arrived, and already I am thinking of leaving. I hope Iola would not find me discourteous. Well, let's see what she has to say. She says, I am glad Bingo is feeling better. We have so few visitors to Martalhu these days that I have only heard tales of welcoming feasts from my elderkin. Now that I have seen one for myself, I think that it is less the eating and more the recovery that brings our folk together. She says, I love food, but whose idea was it to eat for a week? Some traditions might be a little excessive, if you ask me. Could I ask you one thing? Please don't tell the mayor I said such to you. We do not see much excitement around here. It is good to have met Bingo, and that it is a pity that the two of you want to be leaving so soon. I mean, I didn't say I wanted to leave, but, you know, Bingo's on kind of like
I may have
home,
a little more to eat before we set forth on
so
the road again.
he says, do you know something? I think I may have had a little more to eat. I think I may have a little more to eat before we set forth on the road again. That tea has settled my complaining belly somewhat, and the food was quite delicious after all. Do you think that perhaps the folk of Maratal have a departing feast to match their welcoming feasts? Oh, do not look at me like that, my friend. I am only teasing. Well, mostly teasing. Mostly. So this will finish homesick and just sick. It will give us some legendary item experience, so that's funny. And 5 bingo badges.
Are you ready to leave Mawatu?
Although in my case, I am wearing the Fateful Toolkit, and that came from Fate of Gundabad, I believe it was, the expansion. And this tool set, it says usable by any crafting profession, so it's a universal toolkit, but it grants bonus festival and landscape wallet barter tokens while equipped. And it also, and the bonus for landscape tokens applies up through Gundabad, so level 140. So anytime I get like festival tokens, bingo tokens, anything like that, it gives me 10% more. So in this case, 6 or 5, and so 10% would be 0.5, but it always rounds up. So it rounds up to basically 1 more. So I got 6 instead of 5. So that's pretty neat. And I have been getting lots of use out of that toolkit on this server. I think when this server closes, I will probably make sure that that toolkit transfers over to Laurelin, and then I'll just use it there to like catch up on things that I'm missing. That'll be awesome. All right, but he says, are you ready to leave? I will say my goodbyes to the good folk of this village and meet you at the southern part out of the village. Southern path out of the village. Okay, so we this quest that we're picking up is called Through the Blockade. So Bingo Boffin originally was like a week by week tale, and so like you'd have a week in which you would be doing something. So in this case, it was getting here, having the welcome feast, him not feeling good, getting the leaves, coming back, taking care of him. And so after all of that was done, that was the end of that chapter, and you had to wait a week for the next chapter. So this is taking us into the next week's chapter. So we are going to go meet him at the blockade, but first we have to talk to a couple of folks by the entrance. I think we're gonna be say goodbye to folks. So ready to, yeah, okay. Let's go. So what mount is it that you're using that is leaving the little trail of footprints behind? Oh, it's the Tidebreaker's steed. So those are little water prints being left behind. That's really cute. Like if you were running through like the like sandy by the beach area, they would show up like that. That's fun.
They say
All
some
right,
of our
so
kin went north
the two
long
that we
ago.
first met when we came to the village, Iola says, we do not roam far afield from our village, but from time to time, one of our folk will get an unusual yearning for travel and bring us news from distant lands. That is why I want to warn you about the road north. Orcs, half-orcs, and other fouler sorts have made camp that way, and they allow none to pass. There may be fighting if you try to follow the road. Take care of Bingo. You do not need me to say that, I know it, but do it just the same. Okay. Well, that's good to know.
What kind are you?
He says, I suppose you are no devotead after all. Travel with care on the roads that lead you from the Gloomglens. Return with Bingo someday, and you'll have a friendly greeting from Russ, to be sure. That's him. Aw, that's nice. Well, they enjoyed our company. Well, Bingo says, orcs on the northern road. Well, it's good of Iola to warn us about such things. But we cannot let the fear of them keep us from continuing our journey. Let me know when you're ready to leave, and we will set our feet once more upon the road. Well, I think I'm ready. So let's set our feet upon the road. All right, so
I am ready
he says,
to go
I'm ready
if
to
you
go
are.
if you are. And then it takes us into an instance.
The
So
end
it's
of
like,
Bingo's
time.
journey
So
approaches
hang on,
with
let me
every
show you
step,
where we
but
were. We
rumors
were
tell of
here
a
in the
blockade that might
Gloomglens,
slow his
and we have
progress
now
along the
zipped
road.
over here to the road, the north-south road that existed for a long time, and it's actually the road, a part of it that Boromir took as he was trying to make his way to Rivendell because of the visions that his dad was having. And so he was working his way off to go talk to Elrond and be like, hey, what's this all about? This seems very prophetic. Yeah, so he was heading that way. And that's what takes him through the area that is Swanfleet and Cardolan. And then there's a thing in the books about there was a bridge, but it was out. And so if you do the Cardolan quest chain, the epic quest chain that goes through there, you do encounter some of that storyline. So that's kind of fun. So, oh, Lashire says, oh, you already said that, right? That you were washing up. Yeah, all I have in camera is darn orcs always on the northern road. Like, why can't they go to the eastern road or the western road or the southwest road sometimes, you know, right? Yes, before it says it's practically their native habitat. All right, what does Haley have to say? Well, she says, when Theodore and I passed this way on our southward journey, there was a great massing of orcs and half-orcs in the ruins just ahead. We were able to slip by unnoticed, but I do not think we'll be as fortunate this time. If it does come to fighting, you should try and protect Bingo from the swords and arrows of the orcs. I will have my hands full trying to keep them from felling Theodore with a lucky stroke. Perhaps we can skirt the ruins if their numbers have increased. We will not know until we get closer. Okay, so our objective says talk to Bingo on the road through Entwood, and Bingo must not be defeated. All right. She says, Bingo, if there are orcs ahead, try to stay behind Rosenbloom. Yeah, that's a good idea. You should stay behind me and Affadil. When Theodore and I came this way, they seemed ready for war. And Bingo says, I hope they don't see us. All right. He says, I do not like the sound of this orc blockade. Like, why? Is it making noise? Is it like playing the bagpipes? I don't know. He says, it's one thing to squish bugs in a dragon's lair, but quite another to fight creatures such as orcs. I do not think I'm prepared for this. He says, I will do as Haley suggests and let you do all the fighting. Okay. I do not want to encounter any orcs, especially none that hold knives in their teeth. Why would they hold knives in their teeth? That seems unsanitary. And like you're likely to hurt yourself and stuff. Like, what a terrible idea. Don't hold a knife in your teeth. All right, so we've made our way to the blockade. We're at the Kingsway Gate. She says, I don't see any orcs. Where did they go? Aha, we have some brigands. She says, that is a good question, lady. The orcs seem to have fled the coop, and they left some treasure behind. Now my boys are in charge of this blockade. She says, we need to pass. 220 morale. We can work something out, can't we, boys? He says, we'll take all the coins you've got, and one more thing. Are you hiding? Okay, good. I like that fancy purple hat. I want it. Theodore's hat? I don't think so. He says, but. Oh, yeah, I need to change my Rosenblum's outfit. She's, like, still way too dressed for this. Bingo says, I have something to say. You can't just take Theodore's hat. Indignant Hobbit. Is this how you were raised? The brigands laugh. He says, is this Shire rat jesting with us? You there, will you do as we say, or is it blood spilling time? Alright, well, we gotta talk to Bloody Graham, the brigand leader. He says, I suppose you fancy yourself adventurers. Well, you'll have to give us what we want, or you'll find yourself on the wrong side of our blades. You silently appraise the band of brigands, taking in their mismatched clothes and the poor quality of their weapons. These men are very inexperienced, more likely to wield shovels and plows than knives and swords. They are new to banditry, and if it does come to combat, you know something else. All of these men will be dead before Bingo has uncovered his eyes. So it says the objective is kill all the brigands. However... So he says, you're not going to pay? Die then. Ready your weapons, boys. Alright, they have readied their weapons. Got their knives and forks. Bingo says, just a moment. Do you think we could, do you think we could all think about this? And Bloody Graham says, I don't think you're in any position to talk. He says, I beg your pardon, but I do think I am. And you may call me Bingo. I have been on rather a long journey, and I've seen quite a lot. He says, is that so? You haven't seen anything deadlier than me and my boys, I wager. I said, oh, not true. I've been fighting ferocious beasts, frightening wraiths, and even a dragon. A dragon? Says one of the fellas. Hold it together, Will. Why does it matter? I can end your life as easily as speak to you, Bingo. He says, maybe, but I have come to know something on this journey. I am tougher than I look, and my friends are at least as tough as they look. They would come to my aid, and I would come to theirs. Yeah, these guys are like, this little fellow speaks sense, Graham. He's kind of gotten out of his stance. He says, did you really see a dragon? We did. It was quite impressive, says Bingo. I woke it up, says Theodore. 'Cause he's a goof. Be glad you weren't there, says Haley. There are no dragons around Bree. Why are we here, Graham? Banditry and thieving seemed easier than farming, he says. How was I to know this mad hobbit and his dangerous friends would come along? Staying home would have been easier for me, too, says Bingo. Why not find a quiet place where you can try farming once again? Is that something we can do? Mayhap you're right. All right, let's go, boys. Life as a farmer is more appealing than death as a brigand. Yay. And he's walking off. And our William Lark here says, I want to thank you for letting your friend talk some sense into Graham. I wasn't certain this endeavor was going to work, and when we saw your group approaching on the road, I became convinced that we were all about to die. Our career as brigands was short-lived, but better that than our own lives be short. The orcs had abandoned this blockade by the time we arrived. Graham thinks something must have drawn them away, and in a hurry, too. Whatever the reason, they left some plunder behind. I want you to give it to Bingo as a gift for those whose lives he saved today. I farewell. It will be farming for the rest of us from now on, as it always should have been. Oh, okay. Well, that's very nice. Thanks, man. Bye. Alright, it says examine the treasure coffer that William wants to give to Bingo. Alright, let's take a look at this. The small coffer contains many golden coins. Well, that's nice. Hey, Bingo. He says, William wants me to have the treasure? Well, I suppose we can bring it with us. I did not do anything to deserve it, but its rightful owners are probably not going to come looking for it. The orcs that collected it in the first place likely saw to that. I am glad it did not come to bloodshed today. I took one look at the brigands and knew they were no match for any of us. They needed words more than they needed to suffer for their poor decision to accost us. I am ready to continue our homeward journey. And yes, rich, wee. Is it just rich?
Slash rich.
Oh yeah. Oh slash yeah. Yay! Yay! All the coins. We're swimming in them. Well, he says this road leads north for many miles. Haley tells me that it will bring us to Breeland. Well, let's keep walking. Oh, look, we've arrived in Breeland. Hello. So we are down here at the south, on the road to Cardalon. The Barrow Downs are over there, over that area. And that brigand camp that used to be at the very south part is right over there. So that's where we've come out. Oh yeah, that didn't used to connect. So they had to teleport us from there to here. But now that it does connect, that was unnecessary. That's really funny. I hadn't thought about that because you can walk straight through now. But that's okay. We got our teleport, so that was nice.
We have come a long way.
Well, he says, we've come a
I
long
can
way,
hardly
and the
believe
tree-lined
it.
paths of Breeland seem quite welcoming in comparison to some of the lands through which we have traveled. Do you remember when we began? Bree seemed so distant and exotic, but now it appears friendly and quaint in my eyes. This is a joyful return, but my heart is not gladdened by everything today, for Haley and Theodore have decided to take their leave of us now that we have come back to the Northlands. Also, apparently, Affadil's snake, is making weird noises. Oh, hey, before I get any further, hang on a second. So I feel overdressed, especially given that it's like, upper to mid-20s here today. I think my character needs a different outfit because she's making me feel warm. Okay, so 2 might be a good one. Oh, that's too warm. That's too warm. That's too warm. We're going with outfit 2. All right, let's get us back into a summary look. Excellent. With the short sleeves, we got our traveling pretzel. Good to go. Awesome. Hey, Theodore. He says, it's been quite an enjoyable journey, my friends, but there are even greater adventures that demand my attention. I may be retired from the treasure-seeking game, and I think I've had my fill of dragons, but there are surely other adventures out there just waiting to be had. I bid you and Bingo a fond farewell. If you ever have need of a journeying companion in the future, look for the most dangerous spot, for that is where you will find me. Or you could, go check out all the inns that exist.
If Theodore doesn't get me eaten by a dragon
Haley says,
first.
goodbye, friends. I will see you again if Theodore doesn't get me eaten by a dragon first. Now that I think about it, too much more of Theodore's stupidity may make that seem a mercy. Let me know if you find any hungry dragons in your future travels. Just in case. So Bingo says, I am sad to see them go, but I suppose every journey has to come to an end sometimes. The end of my own journey approaches. So now, Bert Bartleby has come to the Andraith in Breeland, so he's here at this gate. We're going to get some ally experience and some bingo badges, and that will finish through the blockade. And next week, Bingo returns home. Bingo returns home.
My journey is nearly over.
He says, my journey is nearly over. It will not be long before we have arrived back at my doorstep in Mickle Delving. I must confess to a certain reluctance on this last stage of our adventure. Think of all those hills we did not climb, all those crossroads where we took the left path and not the right. I will be glad to see my own home again. Do not doubt it. But as we get closer to the journey's end, I find myself already thinking about the next. It is a curious thing, truly. Let us continue to mickle delving, my friend. I am ready to see the old place again. All right, well, before I do that, I want to go and have a chat. So this miniature Grodbog, did you get that from Bert Bartleby? Did you now? Interesting. And I think I saw you had another one, a trusty companion. Yeah, oh, sorry, a distant cousin. Hello, distant cousin. All right, let me go talk to Bert. What you got?
Ooh, I
Because
have
every
many
time
fine
you
items on
talk to
offer.
Bert at a new location, he has different things. So every location where you find him, he has different things. So he has Theodore Gorse's hat, in case I wanted to have the giant plumed hat there. It does go nicely with my outfit, to be fair. A small map of Bingo and Enedwaith, a large map of Bingo and Enedwaith, the full hat rack for Breeland. I think that might be the last one. There might be one more. There's a picnic table perfect for having tea in the sun. Well, I gotta get that one. That'll go nicely at a house. Oh, I actually need that on the other server. That's okay. I'll take a look at it here. And sure, I'll go ahead and grab a tome of the miniature Grodbog warrior and a tome of the distant cousin, because what are we if not collectors of every single companion and pet that we can get? But we will check out that picnic table later. And somehow I have a long bench in my inventory. It says can sit more people than a short bench, but fewer people than an extra long bench. That's funny. Well, I've still got my little hamster. I'm pretty happy with my hamster. All right, we are approaching the end. I might have come from a delving. That would be my guess. Well, shall we head off to Mickle Delving? And we'll meet Bingo at his door and see how he's doing. All right, here we go. Now, Bingo's house is just up the road, but we can mount up. Oh, do you want to run over there? Okay, I guess we're going to run. That's fine. Hello, bounders. Excuse us. Pardon us. Excuse us. Oh, no. Well, I'm going to have a nice run through the town. And then Bingo's house was just right back here. Oops. Well, I guess I can't go over that fence easily. Fine, we'll go this way. Hey, and there's Bingo. Myrtle Bog stands outside Bingo's home, her arms crossed disapprovingly. She says,
Boffin.
Bingo Boffin, how many weeks has it been since any upstanding hobbit has seen you within the hedges or upon the lanes of the Shire? More than is proper, I'll warrant. You have no respect for your neighbors, Bingo. Did you give any thought to what we might be going through during your ill-advised and improper jaunt to foreign lands? A neighborhood needs neighbors, and you have been quite absent for many seasons. And the talk, the whispered rumors. It has cast this lane and its residents in a poor light, and all of our reputations have been sullied by our mere association with you. We expect this behavior from one such as Rosenbloom, but not from you, Bingo. You are no adventurer, are you? Well, I dare say.
What is that pinned to my door?
She says, I'm sorry that Myrtle was so upset by my absence from the neighborhood. I did not know she cared so much for me. That is a surprise, to be honest. I will do my best to make up for it. But what is that pinned to my door? It seems to be a notice of some kind. Can you see what it might be? I like that Bingo has Tanglemane here with him. Yeah, because they, traveled together a lot, which is very sweet. All right, so the posted bill on his door says it's an overdue notice from the library. It's almost a year old by now. Bingo.
An overdue notice from
An
the
overdue
library of
notice from the library of
Tuckborough?
Tuckborough. My face is red, Rosenbloom. I feel certain you told me to return that cookbook before my journey began, but I confess I never got around to it. Would you mind terribly taking that cookbook back to the librarian of the Great Smalls for me? Here, bring the brigand treasure with you as well. That should serve to pay the overdue fee several times over. In fact, I think we should donate that treasure for the upkeep and maintenance of the library. Some good should come of it. My only condition for that donation is that the library keep a copy of my book when it is finished. All right, so we need to pop over to the library. I don't suppose you have a milestone set to Hobbit and Bywater.
I can check.
Some of us do. You do?
Yeah.
Rock on.
Oh, my tenor weapon.
I love it. Yeah, Last Shire Habit says, despite all the times you have to save bingo, I was kind of sad to reach the end. Me too. The first time I did this, I think this is only the second time I've actually made it all the way through to the end. Maybe the third. But I remember the first time I got to the end and I was like, wait, it's over? That's it? No, we got to keep going. I think part of it though is because when we reached the end, I was at a higher level for the server than this. This is like level 93 or something. The quest is. And I was, I don't know, whatever it was, like 20, 30 levels ahead. So I thought it was going to continue, keep going on, you know, for quite a while. And so I was quite surprised when it ended. I just thought, okay, we're going to go by his house. Now what's going to happen? And it's like, oh, wait, what? No. So, all right, well, let's go to return this library book. Before says, Bilbo's journey came to an end, and so must Bingo's. I mean, no. All right, so, oh yeah, we got to go talk to Donna Mira Took in the library. There she is. Hello.
You have returned.
She says, you have returned, and with the missing cookbook, how unexpected and delightful. I had quite given up on seeing this book ever again, but I have always been so dedicated to the operation of this library that I was thinking of trying to recreate some of the recipes myself from memory. It is a relief to learn that will not be necessary. Okay. There is still the matter of the fee, however. Has Bingo given you the money with which to settle his debt? I'm glad to have the book returned, but overdue fees exist for a reason. You show her the brigand treasure and explain that Bingo would like to pay the fine with it and donate the remainder directly to the library. Ooh, this will keep the library open for many years. Bingo is a charitable sort indeed. The two of you have my thanks, for with this money we will be able to continue the education of young hobbits in the Shire. A love of books will spread throughout the neighborhood, and I hope it will do so throughout your own as well. A love of books. That's funny. I just finished a book, actually. So anyway, talk to Bingo inside his hobbit hole in Mickledelving. So we got to pop back to Mickledelving here in a moment.
A love of books will spread throughout the neighborhood.
Yeah, it's funny. I haven't actually been reading a lot lately. And when I would go to pick up something to read, I would find that my attention for it wasn't so good, and so I'd like find myself reading the same page over and over again, and finally be like, okay, I give up. But I just ended up reading The Hunger Games, and man, I just chewed right, like I just gobbled it up. So that was kind of fun. So now I want to read the second one, but I've gone ahead and put it on for at the library for it, and but I'm like fourth in line, so it might be a little while before I see that book. By the way, don't forget to travel. Did gobbling up the Hunger Games leave you hungry for more, says before. Ha 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 ha. Indeed. All right, so we're back to Bingo. Here, we'll take the road in this time. Past the bird and baby. And over to his little neighborhood. We're going to cut across. Hello, puppy. So he's got these three neighbors. There's Merrimack and there's Myrtle Boggs up at the top. It's funny because I love the names. So we've got Poppy Brace Girdle, Bingo's neighbor. We have Merrimack Fairbairn, Bingo's other neighbor. And then we have Myrtle Boggs, nosy neighbor. It's kind of funny. But it says to talk to him inside, so we'll meet him inside. You're not Bingo. Hey, what's up? He says, look at this place. Hobbits like things tidy, and seeing my home in this state is quite troubling. Would you mind helping me clear away some of the cobwebs? Now that I'm home, I must return to my normal routine of dusting the mantelpiece and sweeping in the corners every 3 days. And if I drag my feet at the chores, I will simply remind myself of how messy my home became while I was away on my journey, and the memory will speed my feather duster and hasten my broom. Sure. So we're going to tidy up over here. He should light a couple candles. Seems a little dark in his house. All right, we're going to tidy up over here. Oh, you got that one? Cool. Although it didn't count for me. Okay, so we each have to do it. Sometimes with these quests, the fellowship if since we're in a fellowship and we're on the same quest, sometimes things will count for both people. For example, at the beginning of Bingo's adventures, he has some things that he's borrowed from his neighbors, and he asks you to return them. And if you're in a fellowship, if one of the people grabs it and returns it, it counts for both of you. That was a surprise. We did not realize that was going to happen. And then yeah, I was like, wait, I've just been like accelerated on this quest. So that was kind of wild. All right, so I've cleared out some cobwebs. All right, I'll go let him know. We've cleaned up some cobwebs. I've got 4. He says, that is quite a lot better. Thank you.
Thank you.
He looks around his home and sighs. Does it feel larger to you than when we left? It feels that way to me, larger and more empty. It was loneliness that propelled me on my journey, and here I am at the end of it, and I am still lonely. I know what I need. I miss my new friends and my old ones. I shall throw a dinner party. Allow me to write up some invitations, and you can deliver them for me. Gosh, can I? Anyway, so this finishes Bingo Returns Home. And then next week we have Handwritten, Hand Delivered. And it's cute. We get our LI experience, and we get some Bingo badges. But then we also get a title, Bingo's Loyal Friend. So that's cute.
The invitations
So actually,
are
I'm kind of
all
curious.
written, and now
Loyal
they need
Friend.
to be delivered.
Currently, I'm known to the Ents. I think I'm going to stick with that. All right, he says, the invitations are all written, my adventuring friend, and now they need to be delivered. Let's see. I want to be certain I have not forgotten anyone. He leafs through a stack of envelopes, reading aloud the name on each. Myrtle Boggs, Merrimack Fairburn, and Poppy Bracegirdle, my kind and caring neighbors. Cousin Priska and her family. The talkative and friendly Milo Goodbody of Bree. Haley and Theodore, of course. The author and literary critic Bilbo Baggins. Spalvey Stoutheart, if he can set aside his duties with the Iron Garrison for a short journey. Langhar the Bjorning, Egwulf the Tracker of Rohan. Humphrey Rumming, if he promises to leave his worms and salamanders and other such creatures behind. Iola Isbrun and her family, as they are distant relatives by some reckoning or other, although I cannot figure out the relation exactly. And I have an invitation here for Will and Whisker and his family as well. Perhaps you could read it to him? I do not know exactly where you'll be able to find each of my invited guests. Perhaps you can ask Bert Bartleby. He tends to travel rather a lot and might have seen some of these folk more recently than we have. If you get tired of delivering these invitations, I suppose you could rely on the quick post to do it. Leave any that you do not deliver on the table near Postmaster Proudfoot, south of here by the town hall. So, our objective is deliver invitations to, and it's that whole list of people that he just mentioned. And then at the end, it says, or leave any invitations you do not deliver on Postmaster Proudfoot's table. All right, well, I'm curious. How many can we do? I'm kind of amused. So, let's see. Can we do your invitation? Wait, where are the neighbors? Oh, well, they're all 3 right here.
Is this a
She
trick?
says, what's this?
Bingo
You've clearly
wishes to
interrupted
invite
some
us
gossip,
to a
likely
dinner
about
party.
Bingo's long absence from the Shire, and Myrtle stares at you suspiciously. When you hand the invitations to Myrtle, Merrimack, and Poppy, they stare at the envelopes with surprised expressions. When they read the letters inside, their surprise increases further. Is this a trick? Bingo wishes to invite us to a dinner party. We have all been neighbors for some time now, and we have never attended a party at his home before. Now that I think about it, I suppose none of us have ever invited him over for tea or for dinner either. Do we think we will attend? I suppose we can try, but we're not promising anything. Good day. Okay. So, let's see. Let's go talk to Bert Bartleby. Because he did say Bart might know. Oh, Shire Hobbit says, I get to this point and dump them all on the quick post. Well, now I'm kind of curious. Oh, sorry, I took you over a fence. If we go to Bert, he's over by the stable master. So this is one of the first places you find Bert Bartleby, is over here by the stable master here in Mickle Delving. So I'm like, well, if I go talk to him, is he going to tell us where to find the others? Because I don't remember checking on that before. Wow. It does say, where can I find Bingo this week? But then it has the rest of them. Where can I find Bilbo, Egwulf, Haley and Theodore. Oh my gosh, it has the whole list of them. All right, where can I find Haley and Theodore?
For you that may be of use.
I have heard that Theodore and Haley are now resting from their long journey at the place where they began it, inside the tavern located a day's journey east of Bree. Oh, how funny! I mean, I'm kind of tempted. And then let's see. Wait. Okay, so Bilbo, I'm assuming he's in Rivendell, still working on his poetry within the Hall of Fire. Okay. Egwulf
Can I give you the gift
was
of
going to see what
knowledge?
she could do to help her people in the town of Grimslade in West Rohan. Look her up there. Humphrey. Oh, I don't want to talk to him.
have information
I
for
heard
you
from one of
that
my brothers that
may
Humphrey
be of
was
use.
still in the town of Galtreve in the center of Dunland. I understand he was having trouble setting out again. Okay. I mean, that's easy to get to, though, because I have traveled
We
directly
have
there.
information for you
Iola's
that
in the
may
town of
be of
Tarahu.
use.
Okay.
Can I
Langhar.
give you the gift of
If you are
knowledge?
welcome in the Vales of Anduin and the lands of Grimborn, you should be able to find Langhar at the homestead of her people. If you are not able to get to those lands, perhaps you can look for her within the outpost of Stangard along the Great River. Yeah, we have access to there. He says one of the guards there seemed to be quite taken with her, and I think she will now be welcomed within those walls. Oh, how funny. Let's see, Myrtle Boggs. Oh, we already talked to her.
You that may be of use.
Spalvey? Where did we leave
We
Spalvey?
have information
He's
for
working
you
to help
that
the
may
dwarves
be of
reclaim
use.
Moria. Look for him within the 21st Hall. Oh my goodness. Will and Whisker is probably
Can I
still
give
out.
you the
Yeah.
gift of knowledge?
His family seem to be doing quite well at their home north of the road in the northeastern reaches of the Dunbog in Dunland. Oh my gosh, so you really can actually go and do all of this. That's really funny. I didn't think that was possible. Well, let's see. I can take us to Rivendell, and we can go talk to Bilbo. Okay, well, Priska is the next one, and if we want to do them in order, and Priska is going to
Can I give
be
you the gift of
just across the
knowledge?
Brandywine Bridge in Newbury. Okay. Oh, I was just going to say from here, we can get
A lovely day,
to, I
isn't it?
think, swift travel to Stock, and then just go across the river. Swift travel to Buckland. Oh, that's even faster, right? That's where we want to go, Buckland? Yes. Yes, we do. Oh, Pine Leaf Needle says, yes, the first time I ran bingo, I went to all of the places. That's funny. I am 99% certain I did not, and just dropped it off the quick post. That would be my guess. All right, so let's go back, because Priska's going to be... Gosh, am I turned around? I am turned around. Hang on. Yeah, Priska's up that way. Okay, cool. I was a little turned around, but not entirely turned around. Now, if we do all these deliveries, though, it is likely we will not have much time to go to the Entwood today. So, if we're happy with that, we can just keep bingoing along. So, Switch It Up Gaming says, hello, hello. I just came back after an 8-year break. Well, welcome back. We are having some fun doing the adventures. Sorry, no, it's not adventures. It's the ballad. The Ballad of Bingo Boffin. And we're kind of near the end. So if you don't want spoilers, let me know now. All right, so
Cousin
Priska.
Bingo is inviting my
She
family
says, Cousin
to a
Bingo
dinner
is inviting
party?
my family to a dinner party. It has been ages since I visited home, and that was many young hobbits ago. Is his home big enough to accommodate all of my children? Well, we will certainly try to attend. It is just as well, for I think Marigold is planning a secret adventure to the Shire anyway, and perhaps this will satisfy her journeying heart somewhat, for the moment. I could do with a fine dinner. Taking care of all these children is hungry work. Nice. All right, so the next one is Milo Goodbody. Didn't we deliver his already? Wait. Oh yeah, the prancing pony. All right, we're going to Bree. Right, Milo is the one that gave us some food at the Prancing Pony. I forgot about that. Oh, Pine Leaf Needles asks if I plan to wear the horseshoe for the final instance. Ah, do I? I must have the horseshoe. Ooh, that's a fair question. I don't have it on at the moment. Where is it? Shush. Do you have yours on? You should, you should. All right, okay, yes, I have the horseshoe. Well, let's get that on, just in case. I don't want to forget. Okay. Man, I'm glad you said something, because I would not have remembered that that was a possible of a thing. I can't remember what it changes. Let's go. It does say in the wiki, though, if we ever wanted to look that up. Okay, so here's Milo hanging out by the fire. Hey, Milo. Oops. And he says, pull up a chair. There is room for
I am
all
not
at the
one
Prancing
to turn
Pony.
down a free
You hand him
dinner.
the invitation, and he reads it with interest. Well, delightful. I am not one to turn down a free dinner, and I remember that Bingo was quite an amusing fellow. I hope he shows a little restraint this time, because I remember he spent some time recovering from the entertainment here among the haystacks by the stables. I will be happy to attend, even if the folk in the Shire are a little odd, compared to the hobbits of Bree, at least. Okay, now we need to make our way to the Forsaken Inn. And I think the fastest way, although, did anything change? I don't think anything changed. They've added, some stable masters in the Trollshaws. And so there's some different travel opportunities there, but I don't think, let's see, is there swift travel? There's from the Breeland Homesteads and Sturlock Farm. Yeah, we'll just do Oscaruth. So our normal way is we just go to Oscaruth, and then we take the stable to Candace's camp, and then the free travel from there. So, yeah. Agartha says port to Hearn, and there's a swift travel to the Forsaken Inn. Hearn. Do I have Hearn? That's an interesting question. Well, I kind of want to try that now. Not that one. I'm going to check it out. I know I'll be there. Oh, wait. How do I not have that? Maybe I don't have it. Oh, port. I would have had to use a boat. I don't know. All right, hang on. Let me use the stable master.
What do you need?
To Candace's encampment. Switch It Up Game says, how is your map different? Bags and stuff too. Well, if you've been away for 8 years, it's possible there's some things that are different. I also am running with a reskin. Thank you, Moobot. So I have a UI skin that I'm using that makes everything look different. Usually it has kind of like a blue and silver kind of motif going on. And I went ahead, I am using, which one am I using? Do I know off the top of my head? Oh, I had it written down one time recently because I was doing some stuff, but no, I don't have it written down handy. Hang on, though, I can pull it up. If you go to your options, which is not that, yeah, Control O, and you go to UI settings, and scroll about 2/3 of the way down, you get to current user skin. So if you click on that, it'll show you everything that you have that's available to you. By default, none is there, so you have to actually go and download something to put into that spot. I am using the JRR Delving Hills Wide 2 because I like the style of that. I like to have like the wide bar at the bottom like normal, and I like all the frills and stuff that this one gives me. And it's very hobbity, and I like that. Oh, Agartha points out for Hearn, let's see, we have Return to, Guide to, Muster. Oh, I must have it. Unless I just didn't pick it up for some reason. All right, so Haley, there they are. Haley and Theodore are hanging out over here by the fire.
A dinner
She
party?
says, we are back
will
where we
certainly
started and
attend,
still trying to
won't we,
decide what we should
Theodore?
do next. For now, we've mostly decided that the food here could be better and that Anloff does not clean the mugs well enough. You hand the invitations to Haley, and she reads it with a smile. A dinner party? We will certainly attend, won't we, Theodore? Yes, we will. It'll be nice to see Bingo at his home. Theodore nods distantly, already thinking about his next adventure, but you are reasonably certain he will attend Bingo's gathering. That's funny. All right, so let's head off to Rivendell. Yeah. I'm also using a number of plugins, Switch It Up Gaming. So, for example, I'm using a plugin called Travel Window 2, and that's what you see that I keep pulling up that has all my travel skills on it. I'm a hunter, so I have a lot of guide to skills, and that I can use with my fellowship. So basically, I can port myself and my fellowship, so up to 6 people total, to a series of different places. There's basically one in each zone. So for this zone, the Trollshaws, the location is Rivendell, so that's kind of handy. Strangely, though, as a hunter, you don't get it until after you've basically gotten past the level that you're questing in Rivendell or in the area, but it's still handy when you have to go back over and over again. Excuse me. Because you do end up going back to Rivendell quite often. All right, so we're looking for Bilbo. And he's in the Hall of Fire, having a chat over here with Lindir, his good buddy Lindir. Whoa, I was running too fast. Hey, Bilbo, what
How
up?
do you do?
He says, hello there, Rosamund. Welcome back to Rivendell. You hand Bilbo the invitation, and he reads it carefully. Bingo Boffin is having a dinner party. I am sure it will be a lovely time, but I'm afraid I must decline his gracious invitation. I do not think I have as many journeys in me as I once did, and I am content to stay here in Rivendell for now. I will return to the Shire one day, I am sure of it, but I'm not ready to say farewell to the last homely house just yet. Give Bingo my best wishes and tell him that I am eagerly awaiting his book when it is finished. Okay. So now, Spalvey, you're sitting on a turtle. Yeah, so 21st Hall is the place where a hunter can take their fellowship in Moria. So we're going to pop over there and see if Spalvey is nearby. Yeah, Switch It Up Gaming, if you have interest in learning more about plugins, after my stream is B4, who's also sitting nearby and also playing Affadil here. And he will do a whole bunch of chat about plugins and things you can do and things that he is doing with some development. Hey, it's Kettle the Map Maker. I like him.
I will look
All
at
right, he
this
says,
in
welcome
a
back
moment,
to
but
Casa
first
Doom.
I think you
Do not
should
tell me
know
you've lost
something.
Bingo again and need my help to find him. He laughs for a longer time than necessary. When he's finally stopped and apologized, you hand him the invitation. Kettle Mapmaker, standing nearby, also takes an interest. I would be happy to attend Bingo's party. Kettle and I have been working to improve the Iron Garrison's foothold here in Casa Doom, but it is difficult work. There are many dangers still in the earth, and I'm not sure we can master them, but we will try. That is the way of the dwarves. Okay. Let's see. Langhar. What did it say we could find her? Standguard. Yeah. Right. Hardarian. Standguard. There we go. Yeah, the Bjorning House is a bit out of our range. So we're playing on Treebeard, which is a legendary server, meaning that in this case, it's a slow progression server, and we get the zones slowly added on over time. Every 5 to 6 months, we get the next zone further on. So right now, our cap level for the server is 95. So the Bjorning House, for us, if you're not a Bjorning, probably doesn't exist. I'm going to guess that she's inside somewhere. Oh, right there she is. Awesome. Hello.
What brings
She
you
says,
here?
what brings you here?
Is
Is something
something
wrong?
wrong?
You hand her the invitation, and as she reads it, her caution gives way to amusement. Bingo is organizing a dinner party. I hope he has not given up on his adventuring ways. I will do my best to attend, but that will depend on whether the Easterlings seek to cross the Great River again. If they know what is best for them, they will not attempt it, and I will be able to visit Bingo. Nice. Let's see. I can't remember where they said Eggwolf was, but Humphrey Rumming is in Helm's Deep, you think? Well, I know Humphrey Rumming was in Galtrav. We're not doing that. We'll do Eggwolf first. Okay. I'm sorry. Where should I go? Grimslade. Do I have a shortcut to that? Or a milestone, I mean? I have Gapholt. Ah, there we go. Grimslade and Rohan. Okay. I'm being advised that this is the place to go.
Could search my skills from there.
No, I mean, this is where we're going to find Eggwolf. Okay. Hey, she's right there. How's it going? She says, it's good to see you again. How fares our friend Bingo? You hand her the invitation, and she reads it carefully.
This is not the
A
time
dinner
for
party?
parties.
This is not the time for parties, my friend. Rohan is at war. I will see what I can do, but I'm afraid I cannot commit to such a journey. Whether I attend or not will depend upon the state of the war effort in Rohan. Even so, I thank Bingo for the invitation. It's very nice. All right, so Humphrey Rumming is in Galtrev, we heard. So I know how to get us there. That's easy. I'm amused that Dances with Ents is still advertising in World Chat. Hardly anybody ever advertises in World Chat on Treebeard. So it's nice that at least we have a couple of kinships every so often that post something about kinship recruiting. We still take people into our kinship, but we don't actively recruit. Hey, Humphrey.
I received so
He says
many
Bingo is hosting a
invitations,
dinner
it's
party.
hard to keep
I
track
received
of
so
them.
many invitations that it's hard to keep track of them all. God, this guy's such a liar. I will do my best to attend. Perhaps I will give a speech or two before dinner. My speeches are always well received. And is it not said that the gift of knowledge is a gift well received? That settles it. Bingo will be honored for me to attend, I am sure. You may count upon it. Oh, dear. Why did he do that? Why did he invite him? Ah, we're going to Avarden? Oh, because we need to get out to the, wait. Is that the best place to way to go? We need to go find
I have
Willem
not
Whisker.
seen your kind before.
And he is, I think, he's out in the Brown Lands. Oh, maybe not. Yeah. Well, we'll get there.
You're right, the Dunbog Master might be closer.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's fine. This is fine. So we are here, and we need to pop down just a little ways. Yes, this is where Isengard vid 5.
Thinking of the start of the Dunbog instead of where they're actually.
Well, I guess the stable master for the Dunbog isn't too far from where we're going. That's fair. But it's hard. I mean, they were so close. All right. So I know you guys can't see it on the map, but it's because it's behind my head. But basically, we are, as you can see, about to travel down here. And then where we need to go is about here. So this is where we then made our way into, I keep wanting to call it the Brownlands, but that's not right. It's just the Dunbog. Brownlands is a different place. Before points out that, to Switching Up Gaming, that while you've been gone, excuse me, lots of individual maps have been updated to a newer style. So for example, well, this is the old style. So, but let's see, if I go out to, yeah, I'm being told Breland is the new style. Yeah, so this is what the new style is, where they've got a lot more of the topography. It's got a lot more going on, so you can kind of expect what kind of land you're going into, versus like where we are now, where it's a cleaner map, but it's more basic, I guess. People have opinions on whether which one they like better or why they, yeah. So, yeah, but you don't have the option. So, you know, whatever they have is what you have. So if you like the old map, sorry to say you don't have the option to toggle at this time. They've been asked if that's possible, but I don't think that's gonna happen. All right, so you feel a little silly talking to this Lynx, but Willem has always seemed to understand you and Bingo, so you carefully open the envelope and read the invitation to the Lynx. His eyes seem to sparkle, but you can't tell for sure what it might mean. Okay. And then lastly, we want to go back to, what was it? Oh, Harndarian, that's right. There we are. Here we go. Oh, nice. Thanks, Before. Before has posted a link there in the chat saying you can see the historical versions of the maps at the Lotra Wiki, and he's got the link there. And More Map which is a plugin, will let you use older versions of the map. We think, perhaps with some manual effort. So More Map used to be just for the Moors, but as it turns out, they have expanded well beyond that. So don't let the name fool you. It is usable for all over the place. Daw. Kato is finally like settled down, and looks like she's sleeping very happily. To more maps, more like more map. Am I right? And then Casper has been zonked out on the couch all day. Like, even with Kato, like, wandering hither and yon, he pretty much ignored her. And he's so zonked out that he basically, like, turned and had his face away from us and was, like, looking at the back of the couch and just totally zonked out. So he's very trusting of us now, which I appreciate.
Welcome to Mar Toolhouse.
So he says, or she says, sorry, you have returned to Martal Ho, Rosenberg. Have you decided to come live here? We can try and find you a comfortable place to live. Perhaps you could see about opening a new neighborhood for you in Bingo. You shake your head with a smile and hand her the invitation. Well, this is exciting news as well. A dinner party. It is a long way from here, but I would like to see Bingo once again. I am also curious about the traditions of this faraway shire. Tell him Iola will be happy to attend. Well, so it had the thing still there with, like, you know, bring the invitation to her or drop it off at the postmaster. And since that was the last one, now it says talk to Bingo inside his hobbit hole in Mickle Delving. So we don't even get to talk to the postmaster. Sorry, Mr. Postmaster. You're out of luck. Well, I think we could go talk to him, but I have a feeling he doesn't care. Yeah, we can see if he has a blue ring there to talk to. I'm going to guess the quest has advanced. Yeah. He says, hello. That's about it. That's fine. Whee. All right, let's go inside. I'm going to guess it's going to be a bit busy in here pretty soon. All right, Bingo says, I am so excited for this party. I want everything to be perfect. He says, I hope everyone I invited is able to attend. You did deliver all the invitations, right? Yes, I did. Okay, so that finishes handwritten, hand-delivered, and opens up next week's thing, which is the perfect recipe. Hey, it's next week.
The day has finally arrived.
The perfect recipe. The day has finally arrived, my friend. I have a few more preparations to make in order to get my home presentable for guests, but I am nearly ready. Let me know if you are willing to help. Sure. All right. Talk to him and help him prepare. He says, well, let's see. I have a few more things to do to get ready, but it might be easiest if you go outside and keep an eye out for my guests. This is a solo quest and cannot be completed with a fellowship. And testing it, it does say you cannot enter this instance while in a group. So I am going to leave the fellowship.
I have a few more things to do.
And I have my horseshoe on. What does the horseshoe do? Do we remember? Well, hopefully we'll find out, but if not, you'll just have to rewind the tape after we find out what it was and that we didn't notice. Like in one of the instances, like a guy walks by, but if you're not paying attention, you wouldn't notice it. All right. It says, the day of the party has finally arrived, and Bingo has sent you outside to greet the arriving guests. So greet Bingo's neighbors outside his hobbit hole. Myrtle's guarded expression is more suitable for a battle than a party. She says, well, I suppose it would be rude not to attend Bingo's party, so here we are. Do you think he has forgotten that business about the petition I began before he left on his adventure? I would appreciate if you did not remind him about it. Who else has Bingo invited? Well, she says, I assume many of the Shire's most notable families will be represented. Well, some of them are coming along now, Myrtle. So these look like folks from the Mar Talhu. They said the Shire is very quaint, both like and unlike Mar Talhu. Poppy says, oh my. She says, I told you we'd find the place, Russ. Let's see, these must be Bingo's neighbors. Y'all also on the way to the party? She's like, oh, well. And she says, hello. I will wave hello also. Says, I know the invitation was intended for me, but the mayor wanted to see Bingo's home for himself. And before you could say "Twool with Grod," half the town had invited themselves along. She asks, are you folk hobbits? Not from the Shire, certainly. And Myrtle says, is it possible? These hobbits have come from far away, haven't they? What is this feeling, Rosenbloom? It's wholly unusual. Says Myrtle. A desire to explore the unknown and to see the far-off lands fills my heart. So, someone else is coming up the road. It's a bar. Hello. On second thought, I think I'm fine without adventure in my life, says Myrtle. She says, I hope I'm not missed the party. Where's Bingo? All right. Here comes Mayor Davor. Okay. He says, greetings to you. I know I did not receive an invitation to Bingo's party. No, do not worry. I do not begrudge him that, nor do I expect one. I spoke with him only briefly a long time ago and was compelled by other duties at the time. I was recently in Rivendell at the behest of the Lady Galadriel, and while there I spoke with quite a fellow. Bilbo is his name, and he seems quite eager to read Bingo's book. Okay. He told me about this party and that he sadly would not be able to attend, and I told him I would go on his behalf and report back concerning Bingo's progress on the book. To that end, I have prepared a large quantity of ink and brought it with me as a gift for Bingo. May his quill never run dry. That's nice. All right. Oh, hey, and here's Bert Bartleby. He says, look who I found on the trail. Will and Whisker and his whole family. Aww. Oh dear, do those things eat hobbits? And Iola is like, oh, it's a pleasure to meet you. Are you also skin changers? Like this woman? Langer says, no, Willem is not part of my family, but he does seem to have quite a family of his own. Hey, Bert. He says, I'm sad to report that none of my brothers will be able to make it to the party today. They all have obligations and other lands, but I promised that old Rattlepax and I would represent the Bartleby family to the very best of our abilities. Now, where is our host? I am ready to have a plate or two of tasty victuals. Let us go inside. All right, it says go inside. Well, okay, now we're in. Before long, the party is well underway. Oh, hi. Did you wake yourself up? Let's see, there goes some Boffin. Wow, there's all sorts of people to talk to here. All right, well, it says mingle. Let's see, before it says, I suspect Adolina only appears if you wear the horseshoe. Which one's Adolina? Oh, there she is. Oh, nice. Let's see, it said, Theodore and Bert seek to outdo each other's tales, but the hobbits just want to eat. So she's from the Forsaken Inn. And she says, I can remember such fine parties as this. You want to come up? It has been so long, and even longer than death. Yeah. Hi, honey. For things were not well enough for parties in Aduham. But when I was a mere lass, not more than 8 or 9, I remember the excitement of a gathering of friends. How did I come to be here? Why, I found a curious attachment to that horseshoe you've been carrying around. Perhaps some small portion of its metal came once from Audrigam long ago, and it was combined with other metals during the years since. I cannot say, but as I am bound to the place of my curse, that is as good a reason as any as I can fathom. I am delighted to see such a merry gathering once again, though I deserve it not. Still, I thank you for bringing me here, however unknowingly. Oop, there goes Casper. That was Casper. Oh, that's nice that she was able to join the party. So let's see, what else is happening in here? Bingo is reminiscing with Eggwolf and Langhar. Palmella says hi, Casper. Esmeralda's dancing over here on her own. She's having a good time. Let's see if we mingle up this way. What do we get? We get Marigold and Spalvey are held in rapt attention by Haley's adventures. That's over here. Willem's family is enjoying a great deal of attention from the young hobbits. Nice. So yeah, as you go to each little group of people, there's like a little thing that comes up. I appreciate that some of these other folks are bringing stuff back and forth. Donna Mira took studies. Donna Mira took wrong thing. Studies Bingo's manuscript in progress for suitability in her library. All right, let's see. She says her Bingo's manuscript is very good so far, but I do wish he showed a little more proficiency with spelling and grammar. This book will need some refinement before I am comfortable placing it on a library shelf. Bingo has amassed quite a collection of books. I'm impressed with his scholarly dedication, and I wonder what the great collections of my people are missing for their lack of Hobbit literature. It was very nice of Bilbo Baggins to give me his invitation when I visited in Londres. Priska says, it is good to sit down for a moment. All of my children are occupied for now, and I can have a moment to myself. I should tell Cousin Bingo to host these parties more often. Let's see, this group over here, where we've got the neighbors and the far-off folks. She says, my sister is quite taken with this Merrimack fellow. I do not think he seems as happy about this fact as she. Let's see what Merrimack has to say. Violet over there is chatting away. He says, I've not been able to get a word in edgewise. I do not remember agreeing to leave the Shire, but Violet seems to think that I did. What is this part you got me into? She says, there are many ferocious creatures in the woods of the Gloomglens, but as distant cousins, you must possess the same skills as we. You'll be able to avoid their notice, Merrimack, and visit us straight away. Hello, Rose and Boom. I've been telling these good folk that they should come visit us and enjoy a traditional welcoming feast, as Bingo did. Excuse me. If they enjoy as much as Bingo, they may need to also enjoy the traditional week of recovery following such a feast. But we would find a place for them. I hope they will come visit. Very cute. Let's see, Russ is very engaged in looking at the painting on the wall there. Nice. And let's see. Let's go over here and talk to Bert. Hey, Bert. He says, I must ask Theodore where he got his hat. I would like to add it to my collection. He says, Theodore says, this has been quite an adventure. I do not know what Haley and I will do from here on out, but I do not doubt that it will be an experience full of danger and excitement. Do not tell her I said this, but I do think that without her by my side, I might have gotten in over my head a time or two on this adventure. Nothing I wouldn't be able to solve by myself, of course. You were a help, too, from time to time, once or twice. What I'm trying to say is that even an experienced adventurer like Theodore Roos needs friends from time to time. He coughs with embarrassment, and his usual bluster returns. Now then, enough of the sugary platitude. My past is magnificent, my present is satisfactory. I defy you to disappoint me, future. Yeah. Well, Shire, a time or two? You don't say, Theodore. Indeed. I'm not sure that he did say. He won't admit to it. Let's see. Milo says, this is a nice table. I don't see any scruff marks upon it at all. And yet, judging from Bingo's dancing upon the table at the Prancing Pony, he must have gotten some practice in the art from somewhere. And hanging out with one of the cousins, Griffo, he says, I thought this was a dinner party. Why is it taking so long to get dinner on the table? The rumbling in my belly will drown out all the conversation if we don't eat soon. All right, Bingo, what you got? He said, I did not expect so many people to come to my party. Surely I did not send out this many invitations. Willem even made the journey, and he brought his mate and his many cubs. Priska's children seem quite taken with them. I must remind WW to count his cubs carefully when it's time for my Lynx friends to return home. Oh, we still got to mingle some more. Well, I think there's some mingling to be done at the top here. Oh, yeah. Mingle, mingle. All right, Dina Das, what do you think? He says, when you and Bingo came to Newbury to visit, you beheld me at my lowest point. But after a year of courting, Celadine Brandybuck has finally agreed to attend a social gathering with me. All I needed was a party to attend with her. And so, when my mother said that Bingo My first cousin, once removed, was hosting a dinner party. Well, it seemed like Providence most fortuitous. But alas, she is spending the whole time fawning over these lynx cubs and sparing not a moment for me. Cruel fortune. She says, "Oh, look how cute they are. And their fur seems so soft. I love them all." Good luck, Dina Das. Hey, Kettle, what do you think of the maps? He says, "Is this map accurate? There certainly are a lot of villages in the Shire. I respect their burrows, and Hobbit Hole seems to be a very tidy place to live. But I could do with a little more in the way of large, echoing chambers. And not a great hall in sight." He sighs. "How do hobbits live like this?" Yeah, I'd say that map's pretty accurate. Yeah. Hey, Spalvey, what do you know? He said, "We certainly had quite an adventure, didn't we? I do hope you'll remind Bingo of our part in it so he does not leave our contribution out of his account. He spent much of my portion waterlogged and not knowing who he was, so he might not have as much to say about it. It has occurred to me that perhaps you should not remind him of my contribution. I think that perhaps not all dwarves are meant to be written about." Let's see, Marigold says, "Haley is incredible and remarkable, especially for one of the big folk. She's telling me all about her adventures. Did she really descend into the lair of a dragon and emerge once again after waking it up? You were there too? Well, this certainly is something. I need to find a dragon of my own to best." No, you don't. No, you don't. Haley says, "I like this Hobbit lass. She is most attentive and reminds me somewhat of myself when I was that age." Haley suddenly turns bright red. "Oh, I'm so sorry. Hobbits age differently than my folk, don't they? Marigold is indeed a child. Still, I'm sorry to have spoken so thoughtlessly. Spending so much time around Theodore may have brought me down to his careless level. What a frightening thought." I love that these two are just like slowly walking back and forth with food and stuff, moving stuff around. Put the kids to work. All right, Bingo, what do you think? He says, "It is nearly time for dinner, but there is still a small matter to which I'd like to attend. It will not take long. Do you have a moment?" He says, "Do you remember what started this adventure?" The cookbook. He says, "I do. I remember it very well. I was lonely and I was bored." Oh, okay, that's fair. And Willem's eating a pie. That's great. "Every day seemed much the same as any other. I thought if I hosted a dinner party for my neighbors, it would break up the routine. And that is when I met you." Yahoo! "I asked you to retrieve a cookbook from the library." That's true. "I thought it might contain the perfect recipe to serve at my dinner party. Instead, I found a map and the strangest feeling I have ever known. The desire to set forth on a journey and adventure beyond the Shire." Oh. He says, "You have been ever my true and loyal friend ever since." He says, "I cannot thank you enough for that. I sought a recipe at the beginning of this adventure, and indeed, I found one. The perfect recipe for a happy life. The very best friends a hobbit could have. Oh, yeah, could hope to have." Excuse me, my nose itches. "Every adventure comes to an end someday, I suppose. But I am so grateful to have taken this adventure with you." Aww, isn't that nice of him? And as usual, I have let my words get away from me. "Thank you again, my dearest friend. Now here's the door. See you later. Oh, now let's eat." Here's your hat. What's your hurry? So, talk to Bingo outside his home in Mickledelving. All right, he says, "I'm ready for dinner, my friend. Let us join the guests and eat our fill." Okay. So if you do that, make sure you, in that instance, make sure you bring the horseshoe, wear the horseshoe, because then you get the ghost to join you. So that's nice.
I must
He says,
confess,
"Well, I do not
I
know
am
what to
sad
say.
to see
We
our
must have been
journey
through so
end."
much together on this. We have been through so much on this journey. I must confess, I am sad to see it end." I'm guessing we ate already. "I have made so many friends on this adventure, and I think the attendance at my party has proven that I made even more than I realized when I was writing out the invitations. But none of them are as dear to me as you. You are quite the hunter and a loyal friend. You're welcome to call at my humble home any time. I must see to finishing my book, and once that is done, who can say? I have had a taste for adventure, and what is a book without a sequel? Oh, I'm only teasing, mostly. Farewell for now, my good friend. I will see you again, and I look forward to the tales we will tell on that day. So, and then Bert Bartleby has arrived outside Bingo's home in Mickledelving. And that is the end of the perfect recipe. And I have the title awarded Party Goer. You're always ready for a good party, no matter how long it takes. That's cute. So, and hey, here's Bert. So I think everybody's gone back to their normal spots. Yep, it looks like they have. Priska asked me to host more dinner parties. I think she really enjoyed it. Indeed. I think she definitely enjoyed it. Yep, yep. All right, so Bert has...
I have many
Oh,
fine
one more. There's a
items on
party
offer.
hat rack. Okay. And if you ever were to get this, what it has on it, it says, this hat rack is home to Bingo's sun hat, Tom Bombadil's hat, the hat of the treasure seeker, Theodore Gorse, the hood of Spalby, the hat of Kettle map maker, the bow of Haldir, a bag with Adolina's cookbook, Langhar's club, Eggwolf's spear, Humphrey Rumming's basket of eggs, a sinister black cloak, Iola's Isbrun's boots, and Bert Bartleby's pack. That is a very heavily filled rack, hat rack. And then we have a map of Bingo Middle Earth, a small or large version. Ooh, Kettle Mapmaker's hat. Oh, I do like that hat. I assume I don't have it already. We'll double check. Let's see, Bert Bartleby's pack. Oh, let's take a look at that. Oh my gosh, it's like super full. I mean, that's a good adventuring pack. Don't think I'd want to wear it around town. It's kind of big. Wonder, does it dye? Can you dye it? Let's see, red. Ooh, interesting. The square-ish part can be dyed. So if I did it like, what am I wearing? Turquoise? Am I wearing turquoise? Interesting. Huh. That's a thought. Let's see. Then we have Bingo's serving platter, which you can use as a shield. The potato. It's a one-handed implement, so you can carry around a potato. But the things I am most interested in, the tome of Willem Whisker and a tome of old rattle packs. That's what I want. Oh, and I want to check my wardrobe. I can't imagine there's any way that I have Kettle's hat already, but we'll just double check. I used to wear that hat a lot. Nee, I don't have it. Do I have anything map related? Oh, I have the Map Maker's Travel Pack, which looks like that. And then how would that look with the hat? They look cute together. Okay, I gotta get the hat. We gotta get the hat. And then put that in the wardrobe. Yay. So, there we go. That is the end of our adventuring with Bingo Boffin. Yay! Now, there are little adventures with Bingo. Like, there's after this. There's one up in Yondershire. There's another place I've met him also. Oh, well, the Halloween festival, but it's not Halloween, the Harvest Festival. He has the adventure around the tree, around the party tree, and then there's one in Westmead. So there's that. That might be it. But I do appreciate that they have added in some extra bingo from time to time, which is really nice. Because I enjoy our little Bingo Boffin times. And he's just so fun. I love how cheery he is. So, yeah. Okay, so let's regroup with, let's stand in Bingo's flowers, because that seems the thing to do. And, oh, thank you. And let's group back up with Affadil. So here's the thing that usually happens. So when we have to break apart like that, usually Affadil will invite me to a fellowship, because whoever does the inviting is the fellowship leader. And Affadil is very proficient at, oh, very nice, at, like, marking things when we're adventuring and stuff like that, whereas I'm not as fast as that. Thanks. Oh, hey.
I have
Oh, nay.
collected
Okay.
many
So if I
fine
click on...
items
oh,
during my
okay.
travels.
I was curious if it would say, you know, where's
I have
bingo this week?
collected
When
many
it was
fine
only-
items
but he
during
doesn't
my
have that anymore.
travels.
Okay. Oh, nice. Rattlepax and Tanglemane are hanging out over here together. Aww. And floating in air? Really? Wow. That's a new trick. Good job, horsies. That's I didn't know that was a trick that horses could do. But yeah, they're like waist high to me here. Oh, their hooves are. You don't know if you can see that, but that's pretty funny. Oh, they're correct on your screen? Okay. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say. My guess is that the ground got changed at some point after. Because every so often, Lotro will come up with a new technology to do things like water. And then they slowly like test it and check it out and all that to try and apply it throughout the world. But, you know, occasionally you end up with things like that. So my guess is that maybe the way grass is done or something like that has changed over time since they were put there, that something has been done to change ground. Because, like, the wheelbarrow is also partly off the ground, and so are the barrels. Yeah, I'm going to guess something happened to this ground here. Something changed in the way it renders. Yeah, they may have changed the topography, like made it have more texture, and then somehow that ended up shrinking it. That's fun. She's on the ground. Yeah, but that... So before is speculating that maybe they were full-size mounts, but they got shrank to ponies. But that wouldn't explain the barrels and the wheelbarrow here also. Yeah. Yes, and floating in air. They are floating in air. That's fun. All right. You know, I think we have time to go maybe check out, do one adventure in the Entwood. Does that work for you? So let's see. I should have personal travel to... Where is it I want to go? Durndingle. That's where I want to go. All right, I'm on my way to Durndingle. There's no group travel to Durndingle, but you can earn an individual travel there once you've done some quests in the Isengard area. So we both have done that, so therefore we have the ability to travel here. So we are now out in the Entwood, which is in Rohan, up in... No, it's not in Fangorn. That's funny, it has us listed at Edoras. I don't think we're in Edoras. I think it has not resolved where we actually are. So anyway, you appear here in this resurrection circle, and then you go down the hill. Now, if you need to go back to Isengard for something, you can say hello to this tree. It's a horn of Fangorn Forest that can guide you to Isengard, to the ruins of Isengard. So it's that time frame where the Isengard is in ruins. But if you keep on going past that teleportation tree, you do come to Durndingle. And there you have Quickbeam and some friends hanging out here. But Quickbeam is the one that's going to give you quests. So we'll go talk to him. And which one are we doing?
One of the seeds.
Okay.
Dealer's choice.
Let's do Carnamare's seed. Okay, so there's 3 different seeds that he has, and you need to go and plant some seeds out to help out. So he says, I planted a seed from my fallen friend Carmari. He used to wander the forest, checking the soil to ensure the trees had what they needed to grow. I wish to bring the soil of the forest to his seed. So we need to go gather some clumps of sandy soil, which is north. Oh, okay. I was going to say, Affadil's been doing these quests more than I have. And so he's like, knows where to go, which is handy. So yeah, so we are in Fangorn, or sorry, in the Entwood here, which is, still says we're in Edoras. We are so not in Edoras. We're off the map, yo. So there is a path that runs through here. So if you get lost, if you can find your way to the path, that should help you get out. But the map is still the old map style, so it's very easy and uncluttered. So hopefully that also can help you find your way back if you get lost in here. All right, so I'm looking for clumps of sandy soil. Nope. Not yet. It says it was in this area. What's that? Yeah, the arrow was pointing me in a different direction, but we'll try this way. Because Affodil went over the water, so I'll just follow. Also, is that gonna follow me? Oh, it followed me. That's really funny. That wood tender is like, I will have you. Like, no! Oh, it's going after Affodil now. There we go. Okay, now we found some clumps of sandy soil. Nice. And I think we have to do this individually. Yeah, it does appear so. So we both are running around, grabbing some clumps of soil. And getting these wood tenders to go to sleep. All right, so now we need to fertilize the seed at the easeful need, which the map says north and, and remount. So we're gonna go up this way, and then it looks like there's a fork in the path, and it seemed to indicate that we want to go this way. So there's a bunch of quests that you can do in Fangorn, or sorry, in the Entwood, that will earn you reputation, and you get these cool leaves. All right, hang on, we're gonna drop some soil here and help fertilize that seed. Okay, it's been fertilized with the sandy soil. Now we need to return to Quickbeam. So they have, yeah, so he's got these 3 quests of helping out seeds of his friends that have been brought back. I think we helped with that actually initially. And then there's some other quests you can do in the Entwoods, and they're like daily quests. And sometimes you like can only have one of it at a time, and so the rest of them will disappear, but then you can like finish that one and then pick up the next one, and so forth. So you can work your way through and earn a bit of reputation with these guys, with the Ents of Fangor. Oh, I think I may have lost you. You got slowed, I think. Okay, cool. There we go. So we'll keep heading this way and head back over to Quickbeam. I'm just following the path. It should take us back to him. Oh, anyway, so once you get reputation and stuff with them, and as you do these quests, you'll get, yeah, I don't have any yet, like a little box, and you open it up and it's got leaves in it. Excuse me. Well, let me return to Quickbeam and then we'll talk about this. Oh, sorry. He ponders what to do next. Time passes. He's like, good, good. And now what? Mm-hmm. So there's this weird thing where you kind of have to like back up. And he's like, oh, now I have a thought. You know, now I get it.
He has to do that for each person.
And he has to do that for each person. And so you kind of have to like get out of the way. And then you wait. And he's like, there, I've thought of it. So the seed is ready to grow some more, but to do so, it needs soil filled with moss from the branches. So now we have to go gather clumps of mossy soil. Mossy soil can be found at Wellinghall, which is west and then north. Okay. Okay. Before's following me for a moment. He's got some in his eye. Anyway, so you get let's see, that one, yeah, didn't finish. So that didn't actually finish the quest. This is like a long quest, but it's like worth it because it gives you the possibility of good stuff. But as you do those other quests, you get a box, and it usually has leaves in it. These seed quests, I think, are the ones where it might have leaves in it, but it might have one of a couple different things. There's some housing items, like that tree we looked at the very beginning. There's like 3 different versions of those. And then there's also some cosmetic pets that are horns that follow you around, and they're so cool. So we both have an interest in getting those. So the best way to do that is you do these seed quests. And again, you can do those every day. And sometimes you get the cool drop. And if not, you get leaves, which you can then save up to buy the cool drops if they never drop for you. Okay, so we're still heading the right way. And then at some point, oh, I guess after we cross a couple rivers. Okay. Or cross the river a couple times. So we're going to cross here. Try to avoid the slug because I don't really want to get into combat with y'all. Just don't stop. Fair enough. All right, we're going to cross the river once more, and then we'll turn left up ahead. So we've done the Entwood once before, where we went through and got all the stuff that we wanted to get. But yeah, we were on Evernight at the time, and we came in with characters that were, by the time we got to the Entwood, were higher level than the creatures here. Whereas for us, they're kind of on level for these characters. So we are a little more cautious than perhaps a higher level character would need to be. Did we pass it? No. Maybe? Do we need to be down there? Oh no, we need to be up here. Okay, good. All right, grabbing some clumps of mossy soil. So I need 6 of them, and they're kind of clustered around this part of the river. So we can get some on both sides, which is convenient. So wee. So this will put me to 5 out of 6. And then I just need 1 more. Here it is. Looks like there's easily 3 on each side, easily found. And then I believe we go back to the seed. Yep. Oh, really? Oh, okay. Well, hang on. I'm being advised that just using the teleport to Durndingle is actually faster. So we're here, and we need to go all the way across to here. But using our teleport will bring us down here, and we go. So it looks about the same distance to me.
No, you're right. Forgot to fertilize fire.
But okay, well, what we could have done is just gone over, and then fertilized the seed, and then used our teleport to get back here to talk to Quickbeam. But that's okay.
No, so you should do those other quests where you just go to a place and then you get back.
So yeah, most of the other quests, you do the stuff like go get a bunch of bugs or go get some stuff from the slugs or whatever, and then you go back to Quickbeam. So it's like go do the thing and back to Quickbeam. Whereas this one is like go get the soil, go to the seed, back to Quickbeam. So Palmella says this area is beautiful. It really is. It is quite pretty. I also like the wildwood in Bree. I think that area is also quite pretty. Because this has a slightly sinister feel to it because of all the corruption that's happened. Okay.
If you go just to the right, you don't.
Trying to look at where you can cross the river without getting dismounted as a hobbit. I guess if you go slightly to the right on that spot, you don't get dismounted. So that's convenient. So. But yeah, like you can see there's some corruption on some of the trees. But then again, then you got other trees, though. They're like lush and green like that one. So that's neat. And I like the easeful mead. Easeful mead is very pretty. All right, fertilizing the seed and back to Quickbeam. And I'm going to guess my Durndingle. Durnitdingle? Yeah, it's still got 3.5 minutes to go. So, or 3 1/4. So yeah, we'll finish up this seed thing. I think there might be one more round of stuff we have to get. I think it's like one more type of soil he wants us to do. And then I will wrap up, and it'll be Before's turn, and I will go eat some dinner because I'm hungry. We've gone back to Dutch lessons, and our classes are on Mondays and Wednesdays in the morning, which means basically after we have class on Monday, I have like the rest of Monday to do any homework that we get, and then all of Tuesday. But hey, this happens to be Tuesday. A little busy on Tuesdays. Plus I was volunteering in the morning because I'm often volunteering on Tuesday mornings now because I'm not available on Mondays and Wednesdays. So it has kind of complicated my schedule. All right, so he's pondering. So we're going to step back while he ponders.
Step back.
Hmm?
No,
I don't?
no.
Okay.
The next person has to not be.
Oh, okay.
To trigger him.
Home. You are hasty folk.
He said, the seed is ready to grow some more, but to do so, it needs soil filled with the bark from the trees. So now we need some chunky soil, which can be found northeast of Fangorn. So kind of up by the seed, handily enough. So, off we go. So you can see why this one is kind of, like, we're not getting any payoff yet, right? We don't have any boxes of leaves yet. So you can see why a lot of people are like, I'm not going to bother. But if you get one of the drops, it's totally worth it. Plus, I think the boxes give a little bit more than your average, because the average box gives like 3 to 5 or 2 to 5. I think it's a random, but it's a range. Whereas I think the box from the seeds, what's that?
More like 10 to 12.
Yeah, the box with from the seeds is more like 10 to 12. And with our toolkits, it kind of gets a little extra. Okay. Did we make it across the river? Looks like we did. And this way. We'll just follow the path here for a minute. And north. Now we need to go find some chunky soil with some bark in it, which appears to be north of the Easeful Mead. So we'll head up that way, potentially avoiding any red dots. Hey, I found some chunky soil. And looks like we're gonna need some more. There we go. There's some norbogs up here that I'm kind of avoiding. Don't really want to deal with combat if I don't have to. Well, that's scarn, but I'll go ahead and grab it anyway. Let's see, I need one more. It's giving me a pretty wide range here, so it's not narrowing it down for me. Here we go. Okay, so now we go back and fertilize the seed, which is nearby-ish. Yeah, it's pretty close by. The one thing about this area is there's like a lot of roots and like trees, or not trees, but rocks that are kind of sticking up. So you end up kind of tripping over things sometimes a little bit. At least I do. All right, return to Quickbeam. This might be a nice idea a nice time to use the teleport to Durndingle. Because then you just ride down the hill. So it's a little faster. So I am probably going, during history, I'm probably going to eat some dinner and do some Dutch homework. All right, so Quickbeam. Is that done then? Let me think a moment. He ponders what to do next. Time passes. It's just a habit, because I'm not usually the first one. Oh, he's gone back to thinking. He has to go through his routine for each person that is there, so that's probably why that happens. He said the seed is ready to grow some more, but to do so, it needs soil filled with pebbles from the mountains. All right, so now we gotta go pick up some rocky soil, which is kind of like where we went before, this direction. I'm hungry. I hope this is the last one because I'm hungry. It's either this is the last one or there's one more, I think. I can't remember. He's also kind of sending us to places that we've been before doing quests for him. So it gets a little bit familiar. Although, it does, you do tend to spend a lot of time in this central area doing quests, and we're not actually picking up any soil from that area. He's sending us kind of like to the further areas. So. We're getting to the time of year when the sun is setting, it actually like bounces off the houses across from us, and then the light shines in through the house. So I was just looking over there because I think I'm getting a little bit of that behind me. It's kind of funny. Oh yeah, you can see it like you're hitting me because the sun is over here. It is not, so it's reflecting, which is kind of funny. All right, and yeah, this is fine. I'm afraid my allergies have kind of kicked in a little bit recently too. Kind of annoying, but hopefully it'll clear up soon. All right, past the slug, past the other slug. Keep on rolling. Just ignore the slugs, and I guess we'll cross here and then go straight north, basically. Well, north and slightly east. Yep, we're gonna go around that. Forest Queen, don't want to deal with her. Oh, here we go. I see a chunk of rocky soil. Oh, we got trolls. A Fangorn Troll Elder. Yeah, it'd be ideal if we didn't have to deal with those guys. I mean, we can do combat. It's not a problem. It just slows us down, you know. Oh, speaking of. Somebody saw me. Oops. Hey, that was my fault. I had already knocked an arrow and the guy fell down and went and hit the guy behind him. Okay, now we need to go fertilize the seed. So now back up, and we're going to head this way. The nice thing is when you're on the path, things rarely attack. Not never, but less often. Less often than if you're just going cross country. Yeah, it is interesting because, I mean, this is kind of a higher level area, right? But at the same time, it's like, there's not a lot of reasons to come out here unless you're doing these quests, these daily quests. And most people kind of do it a couple times and then they're like, I'm kind of over it. And so you don't end up seeing a lot of other players necessarily out here at the same time. Like there's maybe lots of people doing the quest, but not in large droves. So you don't run into each other. So it feels very like quiet and serene and peaceful because there's like nobody else here. It's just the trees and the moss and the rocks and all that. Okay, return to Quickbeam. We have our return to Durndingle back up. I'm going to use that. Okay. So, go down. Okay, All right, I'm being advised to just stand there and wait for Quickbeam to be ready to talk to me. And he says, good, good, and now what? And he ponders and passes the time. And then he's like, ah, yes, I think I've got it. Now he's going to emote for Afdil, who just showed up. It says, the seed is ready to grow some more, but now it needs soil chilled from the mountain air. Okay. I think this might be the last one. And that is not too far. Thankfully, it is over this way somewhere. Okay, so we have to complete the path. And then keep going when it turns. Okay. I was thinking there was 5 parts to this. Like 5 different soil gatherings. Oh, let's see. I found some scarn, but that's not what I'm looking for. I mean, scarn's nice. Here we go. Now we're finding some cold soil higher up here in the mountains. And a wood fly, I think, is following us. I suppose we may have to tell it to go away. Oh, yeah, sweet. And let's see, one more. Yeah, one more for me. Okay. All right, so I'll take us back to Quickbeam. It's all downhill from here. Actually, yeah, I might want to go this way a little bit more. Oh, we got to fertilize the seed. Ah, that's why it was showing me the other direction. I was like, Quickbeam, ready to show you. He'd be like, yeah, thanks. That's nice soil. Can you go put that on the seed? Okay. Sure. Now we're going to go cross country. That's okay. That's interesting. It shows a big rock here, but I think we're cresting it. Maybe we're going to come off the other side. Nah, it's all right. Well, it's no big deal. Oh, but now we're at the water. Oops. Sorry. You're going to get dismounted. I may have come at it from a different direction. That happens. Alright. Back towards the seed. Off we go. Remember how I said, you know, cross country, more dangerous? Maybe. Oh, Kato's doing the sleepy thing where she's got a paw over her face. That's very cute. My computer is putting out some heat lately too, so it's like this nice warm air just flowing around the cat. And my legs. Okay, now we can return to Quickbeam. And after we fertilize. And my Dirndingle is not ready to go, so we're gonna run back. That's fine. What did we do earlier? It was like a minute, maybe in a quarter or something like that to go back. We'll find out. All right, so we'll swing a little wide here so we don't get dismounted, hopefully. And then we zigzag back this way. Now, people who are on tall mounts probably don't get dismounted there at all. But those of us on the shorter mounts, hobbits and dwarves, will find themselves probably dismounted on that water. Unless you hit the shallower parts. All right, well, next week is normal yes, because we don't have festival yet. Not until June. So we might come back out here and do some other stuff in the Entwood. We might do some delvings because the new thing will be ready to go. Okay, here we go. He says, we have done all we can. Now all it needs to grow is time. So with this, we're getting increased reputation with the Ints of Fangorn Forest, and I get Kanamare's memory. Kanamari. So that gives me a fancy schmancy box, which I open it, and I got 11 Fangorn leaves. I have a feeling Affadil got something else. Oh, you got another yard item. Wow, you are just getting lucky.
Looks like my windmill's going away.
And I was the one wearing the horseshoe. Oh, fair enough. Okay, so actually, yeah, let's go back to the housing estate. I'll just go there. And we'll go take a look at Affadil's house because Affadil got the Blackhorn with honeycomb housing decoration. So, I should have shown you the other things. Well, maybe I'll pop back here in a second and show you the other things before I log off. But first, Affadil is going to put the tree in the yard, I believe. Losing yet another windmill, perhaps.
I'm gonna see if I can do it.
Or you could get rid of some of the trolls. Look at that. There it is. Very nice. So you see you have this one, which is like kind of walking. And then you've got this one over here, which is less walking and more has the honeycombs that it shakes and the bees come out. So, and then there's one more, because there's 3 of these. And the third one is like this one, walking, but it's kind of like snowy. It's got some snow top parts on it. So that's fun. So, all right. Well, you are good to go.
I'm trying to move this thing and it's
Oh.
picky about where it can go.
Yes, that is an interesting point. Before saying it's picky about where it wants to go, and that is true. The tree.
I'm doing my steps.
You can get the tree to the edge of your property, and in fact, I have a couple of these trees over on Evernight, and I've put them right at the edge of my Breeland property because I have a Breeland house, and they're like their roots are sticking out over and into the road, and it's really cool. So I just find that so much fun. But it definitely is like you have to do it like step for step in order to get that done. But I'm gonna wrap up. What's that? So we'll pop out to Durndingle for just a quick moment because I was going to show you the things that you can get with the leaves from going and hanging out with the Ents there. So it is really peaceful hanging out out here in the Entwood. So I know there's definitely people that are like, it feels like a I don't know, like a chore or whatever, but I don't know. It's really peaceful out here. So there's some of the other quests that we could do, and then barter items. Let's see. Is he the one that's got? So we got
Hasty folk.
heritage runes, which helps you on the legendary item track, and we've got boxes with supplies like walnut wood, tattered rohiric parchment. So it's gonna be all like that rohiric level. Return to Durndingle, you can get from him, which is great. I have that. It cost 10 leaves back at the time. Enhancement rune, tracery, those are level 50 though. A couple of recipes. He's got some recipes for various things, jeweler, whatnot. Here we go. So there's the Tome of the Fangorn Horn. This is a cosmetic pet. There's the Tome of the Snowy Fangorn Horn, and then the Tome of the Black Horn with Honeycomb. And then there's also housing item versions. So the one you just saw, the Black Horn with the Honeycomb, the Fangorn Horn, and the Snowy Fangorn Horn. So for example, I can't show you the the housing items because there's no window for that, but I can show you what the pets kind of look like in the preview window. So the black horn with honeycomb, that's like what we just saw over at B4's house. That's the version that you can get. That's a pet. There's the fangorn horn, so you can see it's got those like branches that come out and it's all, and when it runs it's like, it's really funny. And then there's the snowy version of the same thing, but it's like it's covered all in snow, which is fantastic. Now I do have a poinsettia version. Let's see, I have a tame wildwood, the wildwood horn. I have the white one. Yeah, that's actually kind of close. And then I have a Yule tree version. So let me show you this one. Oh, I gotta get off my horse. Get off my pony. So for example, let's see, can you see, let me get into like an open patch or something. I have to go back to the neighborhood, we'll see. But so this is what like the cosmetic pet version looks like. It's about the same height as a Hobbit, which is kind of funny. But you can see it's got those the branches reaching out. Let me see if I can look at him. There you go. You can see he's got his branches reaching out to the sides like that, and he's got that little funky mouth thing going on, and then he's got this big poof of, stuff on top. So that's what the cosmetic versions look like, the cosmetic pet versions. They look very much like the housing ones, the difference being they're much smaller because they follow you around, and they also have more up top than the other versions. Actually, no, this is the white snowy one. Oh, and they fall asleep sometimes, which cracks me up. So, here, I'm going to travel us back to the kinship neighborhood and take a look. Yeah, I know, right? Oh. Pamela says, oh my gosh, he's napping. It's really cute that if you just stand there, eventually they'll fall asleep for a few minutes, which just really cracks me up. All right, so let's, oh yeah. The only problem is that like if you have your, depending on how you have your vision set, you could be running along and like all you see is Huorn in the face, like that. Okay, so this guy, the decoration, yeah, he doesn't have anything on top. He's got no leaves on top. The one with the honeycombs does have leaves on top. The, let's see, the white horn, that's one I have out here. The snowy fangorn horn, yeah, does not. I wish I could zoom in. I'm sorry you can't see it, but he's got like little branches up on top basically, but not like a big poof of hair. Palmella says, like a little old man. Imagine your Hobbit is trying to tell their white Huorn a story and he just dozes off. The funny thing is all the Huorns do it. So like you can have the Christmas one. So okay, hang on, let me show you. Okay, so I think this guy is just so cute because this is what the other ones look like. So they've got that branches coming around the side that look all gnarly and scary, and then the big scary face in the middle. But I love this white one because he's got the big poof. It looks like a big poof of hair going on up there. I love it. But even the Christmas one, let's see. Sorry, the Yule tree. Okay, let me pull that one out. So yeah, it doesn't have the same branches off to the side, but he's got that same like scary face thing going on in the middle. And then it's got like just two branches out that way, and then the one big one in the middle. And it's got all these Christmas decorations on there, all the, like little balls and stuff hanging off. But every so often he will fall asleep. It cracks me up. He'll probably fall asleep if I stand here long enough. So, oh my gosh. All right. Palmella says, I never tried to get the pet horn before, but I might have to now. The RP potential, role-playing potential. I can't quite figure out how to roleplay having a tree following me around. It just seems so far-fetched. It seems like, you know what? That would be, actually might be good if for a story, though. If I was, like, telling a story And then, like, as I was explaining, and then there was this tree, and then like this guy pops up like it's a memory. That might be kind of fun, a fun way to tell a story. Is by having cosmetic pets that pop out that are like, yeah, enhancing the story. That's an interesting thought. I hadn't thought about that. He hasn't fallen asleep yet. I know they do though. I've watched this guy fall asleep before. What else was I thinking? Oh, if you look at the cosmetic pets page, let me move this over just in case he does fall asleep. It will tell you where you can get them. So, for example, yeah, the black horn with honeycomb, it says available in West Fangorn by barter or chance. So, like that box that contained 11 tokens, it could have contained one of those guys. There he goes, he's asleep. Oh, now he's awake. So, yeah, so the black horn with honeycomb, the Fangorn horn, and the snowy one. Those three you get out in Fangorn. And I actually have enough tokens that I could actually pick up two of. Oh, he's gone back to sleep. The poinsettia available for barter during the Yule Festival. And the Yule tree one, Hobbit present. I got that out as a Hobbit present during the Yule Festival. The Wildwood one I got through Wildwood, so you barter for that in the Wildwood. And then the white one, oh, it says available from the Skirmishes Ill Omens event. Ah, well, I'm glad I got that one because it's super cute. Coolidge says, I never looked at that face on the Yule horn to note. I never looked that close on the Yule horn to notice the face. That's very cool. They all actually have a little face. All of these horns have a little face. Like, even this guy out of the Wildwood, he's got his little face right there. He's like the non-decorated version. So you've got this guy, and then you've got the Yule version. And the poinsettia one, his face is down there somewhere. I thought, oh, maybe this one doesn't have a face. It would be the only one, I think. Hey, I want to see the other side of you. It's unlikely to let me see. This one might not have a face. That's a surprise. Huh, okay. There's also an Umbari one. Available for barter from the Ledger Keepers Alliance rewards quartermaster in Umbar. That's a mouthful. Yeah, so those are the four I don't have, or that one, and then the three from the wild, or the, you know, where we just were, Fangorn Forest. Oh, he just fell asleep, I think. And there's butterflies flying around. That's so fun. So, okay, so remember that the legendary item reward track ends in 20 hours. So if you have not gotten all of your goodies off of the reward track, today is a great day to do that, because if you wait till tomorrow, you might miss it, because there will be the downtime tomorrow morning / afternoon, depending on where you live in the world, all that. So go get your stuff off of your legendary items rewards track. Remember to do every server if you have multiple servers that you play on. Or just, you know, ignore it if you don't care about legendary item stuff. But if you got to level 50 on there, or 25, 25, 50, 75, or 100, you'll want to grab that stuff, because that's the extra special stuff. I am hoping, I'd really love it if they would give us, like, options on the reward track, because there's a lot of, like, sealed traceries and enhancement runes and ancient script and things like that, and I am at the point where I think I have like 3 alts holding these boxes, because I don't have the capacity to hold them all, and my ancient script is full, and like all of that stuff. So I wish there was a way to, instead of having any of my points going, you know, any of my experience points going towards those things, if it would like fork off, and I could like send my points, like maybe it would take longer for an individual thing, but it would skip all that other stuff in between, and so I would actually get there faster. And just have it put points into the cosmetic pets and the emotes and the portrait frames, you know, those things. I just want the fun stuff. I don't need the, you know, ancient script and all of that. Now, maybe once in a while it might be nice for me to be like, okay, I'll take the ancient script fork, but I don't need it now. You know what I mean? So it would be nice if I could, if there was a way to choose where to put your points on the reward track. Maybe that's something in the future they'll do. I don't know. But I mean, as it stands, I'm grateful for what it is. At least we have it. So I'm glad to at least there's that. But yeah, I feel like I'm stashing a bunch of stuff that I'm like, meh. Do I really want that? All right, we're gonna stare at a little hamster for a minute. All right, so I think that then concludes us for today. So yeah, next week, I'm not sure what exactly we'll do, but we'll figure out something. And then June 6th, I think I said it was, is when the next festival starts. So that won't be, so 1, 2, 3. So like 4 weeks for us. In 4 weeks, we'll get to do some festival stuff together. Okay, well, cool. Speaking of cool, if you are in a warm area, as we are at the moment, do try to stay cool, hydrate, get your fans blowing, whatever you need to do to stay cool and be healthy and all of those things. All right, thanks everybody for joining me on this adventure. Let's see, you know what? I wonder if Tuesdays, hang on. Tuesday or Tuesdays? There we go. Tuesdays streamers are Little Redhead, which is me, B4, who's coming up right after me here, and then Mei Lung, who is on like in the evening U.S. time. I know Mei Lung was taking a little break, so I'm not sure if he's on today or not. But it'll probably show up in the title screen when I stop streaming and before start streaming. There'll be a title screen and it tells you who's streaming when. So if Mei Lung is back from the break, they should be listed on there. All right, so before we'll be doing his stream on plugins here in just a few moments. So I think that covers it. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. And I or B4 can answer them as we're rolling into his show. All right. Thank you, everybody, for coming along and joining me on this adventure today. We got to go see Bingo, and that was awesome. I enjoy spending time with Bingo. He's always fun. So, all right. Have a great day, everybody. And as always, remember to stay connected to that Hobbit side of your heart. See you in a moment on B4 stream. Bye.